monkey in a zoo. Just like one. I'm not actually one. I'm similar to one. You listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2, and here's your host,
Matthew Morgan.
Oh, look at that little jump in there. Did you have a little jump in, Matthew Morgan? Why are you so confident today, co-host Matt?
Silly song you have to open the show with.
Actually, it stitches together brilliantly with the new structure of the show, where I mentioned that I went to Monkey World in Dorset last week and became very much the king of the monkeys, a bit like that bit in Jungle Book.
What, have you got your monkey? Have you met him?
You're not allowed to take it out of there, which was one of the chief cons of the monkey adoption scheme, is you're not allowed to take the monkey out. That's a kick-off. You weren't allowed to go and touch it. You aren't the only person that's adopted that monkey. Limitless people have adopted it. And say that monkey that you had enough resources, they wouldn't just continue to build that monkey's status till it lived in a palace. They'd let some other monkey have some straw or something. I goes, my money is for Charlie only.
Have you?
None of the other monkeys.
I bet there's not even one called Charlie.
There is actually, mate.
You saw it?
Yeah, because there's a program called Monkey Business and now called Monkey Life. It's often on like Animal Planet or Discovery Channel. It's really good. But actually, everyone donate money to Monkey World in Dorset because it's bloody good. It is.
Isn't it cruel?
No, because they're all rescued monkeys. They've all been rescued.
What, in England?
No, but let a few of them go. I'll keep a couple up in my loft. Dancing cabaret monkeys. Look at their shapely thighs. Dancing cabaret monkeys. What have you got in your eyes? Dreams! I think, Matt, that a lot of... I've got a photograph of me as a 3-year-old. Kinky I look, and I'm having my photo done with a chimpanzee on like a beach somewhere.
That's disgusting.
I know. Well, you should see what we're doing.
And you donkey off a church tower in Spain.
To tell you the truth, I invented that custom. They just used to do harmless donkey rides. I said, hey, I'll tell you what will spice these donkey rides up. Let's take it right to the top of a tower. Give that donkey a shove. See who's tough as stands. It mirrors the donkey plummet into his doom. So, hold on. What show we've got coming up for you, Radio 2 listeners?
I've had too much caffeine. You clearly have.
I actually haven't had enough caffeine. Matt goes, it's too much like crack, that caffeine. I say it's not enough like crack. I say it should be scored on street corners. I say it should be made illegal. I say it should be like in New Jack City, which is a film I once saw and allowed to influence the way I felt about things. We are live. You can text us on 88291. You can phone us if you want, but it seems, actually, I always say this every week, if we ever had a phone call, I mean, the people I'm sure phone, Nick, our insomniac producer, doesn't put the calls through, does he, Matt?
Well, I think they get weeded out by a system.
Weeded out, out come the vulnerable. That is how genocide starts. You weed things out. Now, just let anyone who rings put them directly onto the air. You stinking fascist pig. Learn from the lessons of history. You can call us on 0500 288 291 and where you will be weeded out. You can email russell.brand@bbc.co.uk where you will be weeded right out. We've got some spectacular things coming up on this show. Listen to them. You probably don't know any of this because you don't do any research. Well, check out this.
I've read this running order that's appeared for the first time ever.
Yeah, well, Matt, we're doing things a bit more professional these days. Noel Gallagher's listening to the whole show. He told me, I spoke to him on the way here. He said he's going to listen to the whole show like that, and he boasted about forming a conga on Ogmany or something. Ogmany was up in Edinburgh. He said he formed a conga. I've never his proudest achievement, but then a quick listen to one of his albums will tell you why. Later on the show, we have got Noel Gallagher, perhaps, unless we've irked him. We've got David Icke is coming on this show. He's not actually going to come in this room because he's in the Isle of Wight, which is where we're going to be next week, Matt and G.
I remember Noel Gallagher said he once went to David Icke's seminar.
He did, didn't he?
He told us that.
I went to his seminar. He did say something like that. Yeah, he was all into it, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said some good things and then he went a bit mad.
And I think Noel Gallagher said that he went there wearing women's knickers and saw the whole thing as erotic cinema.
Does. Any seminar he goes to.
Any seminar he attends.
He calls them June.
June, and he calls it a seminar because it turns him on so much.
He makes really bawdy comments and has to get thrown out.
Oh, yeah, don't get many of them on a pound. He shouts things like that.
Through. And even when they're actually making a speech, he goes,
speech. Childishness of it all. Right, we are going to live in this studio that we're in now, and to prove it's live. No, shut up! I'm not finished the sentence. That was a subjunctive. That was a subordinate clause, and you butted in before I finished the clause.
There's a few I'm butting in this week.
Tink 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 tink. Speech. Tink 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 tink. Speech. We are going to break a Guinness World Record. Other stouts are available. We're going to break a world record here on the show. We've got quite a lot of options.
No, we're going to attempt to.
No, we're gonna. We're just not going to stop till we break one. Here's the options we've got. Fastest speaking. Look how much caffeine I've had. I can crack that. It's something like 263 words of Hamlet to be or not to be speech. I think 263 words in a minute or something. I can kill that.
Yeah, but there's
easy.
people who do that for a job.
Yeah, well, I do it sort of as a job, don't I?
That's true.
So there you are then. So why can't I have a record? We're good enough to go down in the record book. Something from this show will go down in the record book. Perhaps the most shoddily assembled radio show in history. Also, right, so Icke's coming on.
Yes.
I'm well into Icke.
On the phone.
Icke's coming on the phone, but next week when we're in Isle of Wight, I want us to actually have Icke round and have Icke on the show. So that's really been nice to him.
Is it not a bit scary? What if he starts to believe you're a lizard?
He won't believe I'm a lizard because he knows I'm part of the revolution. He'll be well up for me.
How would you know?
Because I know I'm not a lizard. I'd know if I was a lizard.
Little green tail you've got.
Oh, God, yeah.
The base of your spine.
What about all the evil doings I've been plotting? Hey, listen, though, don't mock Icke's theories.
I'm not going to mock Icke.
Him.
I'm scared that what if he,
labels me...
Yeah, because, I'm not saying anyone's going to... I don't think people are lizards, basically. So if he thinks some people are, then what's to stop him thinking you are?
Because I'm so nice, basically. That's why I won't fall in a lizard category.
What else would a man lizard do? Walk around kicking things over. Well, give himself away.
Hello, welcome to my lair. I've laid these eggs, well, my wife did, but I keep them warm in the autumnal months with my silky tummy. Matthew, stop, listen, don't get into that territory, because he's got a lot of good ideas about revolution that I want to discuss. Of course he has, loads of them. He thinks everything's a big coup, doesn't he? He thinks the old cake will have been hypnotised, which we have by media, like this media here, except this is revolutionary.
Part of the media.
Yeah, but I'm the best bit. If you think about it, though, aren't I? I'm the best bit of the media. I'm the highlights package. Also, we're going to... Hold on a minute. Yeah, they will be doing our Jingle race war. Because remember, it isn't a competition because competitions are illegal. That is why we're doing our Jingle race war, our Jingle hate crime section where people have sent in jingles and we listen to them. Right, and Matthew, there's one jingle once that I heard. I can't remember which it was. It might have been for Pin or Gay or something, one of our brilliant items, and that was all right. Other than that, I don't think the standard's high enough. What do you think?
There was a brilliant one last week.
Well, your one? Is that what you're
no, there was one we
at?
all agreed was good.
Yeah, where is that? I'd like to hear that again if it's available to us.
It was quite sort of Ramonesy, I think.
Yeah, right, and it was short enough to be valid and useful as a jingle. A lot of our jingoists, if that's the word, are quite indulgent, aren't they? They're sort of quite overlong. Why did you say yes, as if to imply that they've learned this overindulgence from me, the godhead of the show? Because
I think that the ones you like are when they repeat your name over and over again.
They are the ones I like, yes. Now, what is your point? What is wrong with you? Why have you victimised me? What have I ever done to you? We're going to listen to Morrissey's new single, and on Morrissey's new single, on the cover, Matt... and
you're on it, are you?
No, he's wearing a West Ham shirt, which can only be a secret message to me.
Doesn't he support Man City or something?
I think he likes United. And so him wearing a West Ham shirt can only be a coded message to me, star of his new video. Which is what I am if we get round to doing it.
You and Morrissey, lizard boys, both of you, trying to take over the world.
We're not actually lizard boys.
I'm going to tell Icke.
Icke's not going to believe you over me. Icke will view you very much in the mould of Wogan, a cynic, an unbeliever.
I'm not laughing with you. Do you remember that when Wogan did that?
Of course I did. I watched it on the telly the other day. I watched this thing on Google Video called Was Icke Right? And here's some things he predicted. He predicted in about 1990, between 2000 and 2002, there will be a major attack on an American city that will cause all disarray and stuff like that. And he predicted the New Orleans hurricane. And
did he?
Yeah, honestly, he did. Yeah,
he said there'll be a hurricane.
There's going to be a hurricane in New Orleans, and it will cause loss of faith in the American government because the way it's handled, it will cause civil unrest.
So what is he, a seer of the future now?
I don't know. We'll ask him when he gets on, mate, wouldn't we? But if you don't keep dicking around saying stuff about lizards, why don't you just have a glass of tea milk and listen to your old dad? Right, we've got a lot of good things.
Hang on, talking about Wogan, what about this passive-aggressive note in the studio?
Wogan, whose studio we use, has got a passive-aggressive note
left. It must be to him.
Right, go on, Matt. What does it say? If you change the resolution stroke display settings on the PC, please change them back before you leave the studio. This is more important than it sounds, Terry. Thank you. You good. You should know better. Damn you. You've made a mockery of Eurovision.
Maybe Terry Wogan's going a bit blind, like that man in Great Escape who puts the pin on the ground.
Right. You think Wogan's
that's
going
why
blind?
He's putting the resolution.
Why would Wogan go blind?
Oh, there we are. Just change that a little bit there. Maybe he is.
I don't think Wogan is going blind.
I'm not saying he is, but
I think
I'm saying
Wogan's
maybe
got
he might
20/20 vision. Unlike you, turning up here with a chessboard across your chest, you look absolutely preposterous.
Oh,
what were you wearing?
hang on a minute.
You've got a little jogging top on, like a little viscose top with a chessboard across it.
It's mod.
Great big baggy trousers.
It's like, two-tone.
What are you? So you're in a scar now?
No.
What is this?
It's just a new top.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what you've got on your feet.
Let's talk about what I've got on my feet, because if it's these new boots, which can only be described as spectacular...
They honestly, look like calipers with the metal bits taken.
I like calipers, and I certainly like these new boots with buckles down them.
PC bum kisser.
Evening all.
Hello.
PC bum kisser here. Mind, there you go. Listen, these are bloody
They're awful,
Westwood,
mate.
mate. Westwood.
So what?
So it means they're brilliant because they're Tim Westwood, not Vivian, as you might have assumed.
Honestly, they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle boots.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles didn't even wear boots because they lived in the sewer.
Oh, no, their teacher, Shredder, did.
Shredder didn't even wear boots because he was a karate expert. So get your facts right.
What? They are just awful, mate.
User.
He's
Later on,
got so many buckles up them.
Yeah, you buckle up.
Look at you. 10 buckles up your boots.
So what?
They don't match your body.
Someone's a bit buckle jealous. So you better buckle off, son, because the buckles are here to stay. Why don't you shine up my buckles with your chessboard jacket, buckle hater? Don't be a buckle hater, because I'm a buckle player.
Why do you have to do the buckles up, or is that just?
You've got to do them up. It's actually a bit boring, yeah. And they're sort of, and underneath it is quite a soft material, so you have to like hold it in place, and then you worry about this whether the seam's straight. You're doing up the buckles, buckling it all up. It's like strapping someone to a stretcher, because the buckles go across it. You know, if you have to strap someone to a stretcher, if you're in St John's ambulance or something,
like they look like straitjackets, but for your feet.
Yeah, and that's how I think of them, because sometimes I've got crazy dancing feet and I could just dance out of here. I could snatch Wogan's snippy note and dance straight out on the street.
I don't like them. Has your stylist seen them?
Actually, she bought them. So
no, she didn't.
She bought them and she sent them on a bicycle or something.
I bet she went ahead of you, thought, oh, Russell's going shopping, saw them, thought, oh my God, he'd like those, bought them, went to the coast to throw them in the sea, and you bumped into him and went, oh, Shannon, woo, oh, what are they?
Oh, buckle boots.
Look at those, they're what Han Solo would wear.
Oh, let me strap them on. Who's going to be my little Wookiee?
Look at them. Forrest Gump had them
hey.
in the beginning.
Whoa, hey, don't start on Forrest Gump. Whoa, back up. Beep, beep, back up on Gump. Right there. Okay, so yeah, we've got Jingle Race War coming up, and also here's some things that I mean to condemn Matt about. Matt's got his voodoo doll teddy bear now. It's been delivered to the studio from lovely fan Amanda Middleditch, I think is her name. That's an interesting medieval sounding name, isn't it?
Middleditch.
Hello, Middleditch. I see you've brought a farthing with thee. Well, then the curse is lifted, my lad.
Something like that. She's bought this teddy bear. We've all got them.
No, she made it.
She made them, didn't she?
Yeah.
G's got one, I've got one.
Your top floor window.
Yeah, you did, Matt. And since then, I've been wearing calipers. Happy now? So, yeah, Amanda, thank you. But let me tell you that Matt has not gratefully received this gift. Rather, he thinks it's a voodoo toy. And the accompanying literature that she sent, she'd fashioned a magazine showing the teddy bear in different scenarios, much like something that once happened on a soap opera, and a common practical joke where a gnome is stolen from a garden, taken to various locations, photographed there. She's got Matt's teddy bear in all sorts of different...
I'm playing a piano, I'm in a bar.
Very different from your own life, where you'd simply be slumped in the corner of a lap dancing club, weeping. If he had done that, it could have passed off as a documentary.
Tears of joy.
Tears of sweet, sweet victory.
Shut up, you're in lap dancing clubs more than me. I've been once.
Perhaps, Matt, because of the charity work I do there, liberating dancers.
I've liberated over 2.
Go free, have your freedom.
You're free now. Come round my house.
That's it. Continue dancing, but this time for no money. These Amanda Middleditch things are called Hairy Hugs. I dare say there's a website involved. Yes, there is. Hairy Hugs. But Hairy Hugs made me think of a sort of I didn't much care for it.
No.
It made me think of a coconut muff.
You should read the back of the bag post.
You should read the back of my legs, mate. See what I've got writ up there for you, son.
Doesn't make sense.
Nothing does, because the world is actually arbitrary. Now, why don't we listen to this Morrissey thing? Then I'm going to tell you a bit more about Monkey World and why you should support it, and why Daniel Johnson's song, Like a Monkey in a Zoo, is inaccurate, because he says, I'm chained to the wall, I've nothing at all, etc., etc. What he doesn't say is I do a poo in my own hand, sniff it, then push it onto a post, like I saw a monkey do. Yes. I saw that happen. It pooed, it squatted, it pooed into its own hand, sniffed it, looked like it was going to eat it, then pushed it onto a post as if it was an artistic protest of some kind. I enjoyed that.
I think it was copying your actions.
Well, as a matter of fact, Matthew, it was I that suggested that course and commissioned the piece.
That Daniel Johnson song does sound like a little chipmunk.
You said it sounded like the one of the chipmunks has lost faith in the other two.
Drinking out of a brown paper bag.
Alvin would be
Alvin, not me anymore.
a lot of those chipmunks and a lot of cartoon characters are forced to perform beyond their natural jurisdiction, Matt, and so it's quite likely that some of them will break away.
Don't
A lot of it's very hard
Danger
for the
Mouse.
chipmunks. Danger Mouse, for example, has never worked since, and I think joined the Ku Klux Klan as a result. Fell into the most horrible
Drat.
racism. Drat and double drat. Okay, let's listen to this Morrissey song, which I like to believe is dedicated to me. It's simply called "That's How People Grow Up." That's by Morrissey. Let's listen to it now. Go on, Matthew. Turn up the song.
We're on
Hello,
air.
this is the radio. Welcome back to some radio. You're listening to the Russell Brand Show. That was Morrissey. What is your problem with Morrissey and his new single? Go out and get it. That's how people grow up. What's wrong with
It's
you?
a little bit whatever.
Don't be indifferent, mate. Especially not for someone... It's interesting that you received a bear from a company called Hairy Hugs when your hugs have recently become less hairy on accounts of you shaving down your pubic region. Don't do an indifferent
care.
shrug. I've seen
Let's discuss it.
your little knoll. Your little grassy shredded knoll.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like a knoll. Yeah, like you've got a little shredded wheat mound there now, haven't you?
I've got a lovely bit.
Well, let's have another look. You said it was itchy. Give us another butcher's
It is
of
itchy.
Shaved it right down, haven't you, your pubic mound? There it is, but just
I've
pour a
trimmed
little...
it. I tidied it up. It's not like it's bald.
What have you
like
done?
yours. It's like Action Man down your trousers.
Certainly is a lot of action. Man, there's a lot of action. What about your nuts? What did you do for those guys lately?
Well, I took the guard off and promptly slashed them open.
You slashed you slashed your sack open?
I took the guard off and tried to sort of
You
trim.
took your guard off?
Like shearing sheep.
If I've taught you
Little
anything in
pink
life,
sheep.
Matt Morgan, it's never take your guard off when you're self-shearing. Now give it a little dip and go back to work, yeah?
That's, it was painful for a second. I got a little cut
Little
there.
nick, innit? Little nick,
it's
it
just
gathers
'cause,
up.
You know, in
and-
your bathroom, you've got a beard trimmer and you've done your beard and you think,
What now?
Oh,
what
well,
now
you know.
for me?
Yeah.
Where now for this trimming sensation? Well, what's next, may I
I've got no
inquire?
other areas of hair.
Perhaps
Not
your
like you.
anus. Hey, don't. What do you mean? I'm beautiful.
You've got... Oh, big head.
I'm a lovely person. Look at me. I just got some hair, delicate lines
No,
of
but
it,
you've got
leading
chest
to
hair. I haven't
important
got
things.
chest hair. I've
yeah,
got
but
about
nice.
5.
Look at that. People love all that.
I don't know. I'm always appreciative of the Tom Jones rug.
Look at it. Get your head in it.
I don't want to.
I tell you what. You ever feel insecure in life, mate? Pop your head on my chest. You'll be right as rain in no time, and I'll pat your little bum for you.
Oh, Robin Williams.
It's gorgeous. It
Hairs
is.
in my mouth.
Look at you now, though, with your daft mound. What have you done
What?
to yourself?
So look at your mound.
It's gorgeous.
BBC
down there.
BBC
Well, look,
talk
all
about
right,
this?
hold on. Just to say, William Blake, what a great poet he was. Larkin, apparently, he was a bit of a depressive man. In spite, My Name Is thought that Larkin would be a wonderful thinker and a beautiful romantic soul. But what he expressed in his poetry was not indicative of the way he lived his life in the main. He was sometimes quite humdrum and dull. It's only through his poetry that he expressed the artistic aspect of his nature. Philip
It's
Larkin.
depressive.
Well, yeah,
What
but I
about
mean,
his
he's
poems?
still a
All-
great poet, wasn't he? Incredible
brilliant.
gymnast
Don't have
of the
children.
old lingo, wasn't he? They F you up your mum and dad and all that. So, okay, now back to Matt's
mound.
stinking mound.
Look at your mound.
Never
It's
has a
got chewing
mound
gum in
caused
it.
so much controversy since Lee Harvey Oswald's murder of Kennedy. It's the dirtiest mound since
Ask
the
Ike
60s.
about that. He'll probably never shut up.
Look, I intend to embrace Ike very much to my hairy bosom and give him
Hairy hugs.
some more tit milk.
Show us your nubbin.
No, well, actually, because Nick has brought in people that were initially described as work experience from Panorama, but I can now see are simply attractive women, I don't think I will do, because there'll be,
Yeah, who's
What do you
employing
mean?
them on Panorama?
Yeah, Panorama. Hello, now on Panorama.
Panorama.
A couple of lovely tarts. We've brought in a couple of
This
sauce.
is all very serious. Make the tea toots.
Matt Morgan is a dirty sexist and a homophobe to fuck up measure. Here's some emails. We got one from Lucy, little Lucy, she calls herself. Where has this obsession for monkeys arisen from? It seems to have occurred since you're on Have I Got News For You, where a monkey government was suggested. Ike will later on say we could do a lot worse than to have a monkey government, he'll say, but he'll be being pithy. What we'll have is...
Haven't we already?
Hey, we've sort of got a monkey government already. Look, don't, because Ike will be listening, and I want him to know I'm properly right behind him. There's no point...
No, I believe in UFOs because I've seen them. And actually, there's been a
bringing
lot of
that out now,
UFO...
because you didn't let me say that on the radio show before, did you? Don't say that on the show. People will think I'm mad. Not while you're shaving your rug down, peering out,
That's why I
looking in the
shave it down.
skies with your ball. What's that, for a landing pad? You're waiting for
I
ET to turn up.
I might have a little barcode or something under there. They'd fiddled with me. No, there's been a lot of
Something awful
UFO
being
sightings over Christmas.
That's it?
Very interesting developments.
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean that. The sun.
There's been a lot of
going
UFO
about it.
sightings.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. Probably
You've
this is
seen
the
one, haven't you?
revolution.
One
I
came
saw
in your
that-
bedroom.
Yeah, as a child, a green glowing orb did appear in
Uncle
my bedroom.
UFO.
Old Uncle UFO, beam me up, Botty, etc., etc. We've all been. That's actually a Sun headline, which I criticised when it actually happened. So the reason I've become obsessed with, I've always been obsessed with monkeys. I love monkeys. I'm right behind monkeys. I think we should all get right behind Monkey World down in Dorset. They rescue monkeys from all over the world. I went down there. I was really looking forward to meeting Jeremy, who is the head keeper, and I got excited about it. Right, that goes like when I was in the gift shop, right, making quite an extravagant lot of purchases because obviously it
Where's
goes
the
to
presents?
Monkey World. You've got a nice little thing from Monkey World. Don't worry about
Have
that,
I?
mate. Yeah, of course you have. Little monkey suit now, so you can have a normal amount of body hair rather than the bald mannequin you'll be presenting to your lap dance lovers. I'll get you a little ape suit.
Go on about my lovers. It's my harem. It's my business.
Your harem, that poor gaggle of sods, huddled together like a bunch of Chinese refugees in a tomato lorry. Poor cows, a lot of them. No offence if that was offensive, which I'm pretty sure it was. So yeah, I like the old monkeys. I love them. So like, when I was down Monkey World, I was buying a lot of stuff down the gift shop, right? And the woman goes, "Yeah, I'll tell you what, we can get you to meet Jeremy and Charlie. That's my favourite of the monkeys, right?" And I got a bit excited about that. And she goes, "Well," and they walkie-talkie to Jeremy. And I thought, "Oh, he's coming." So and then
What?
on the Jeremy's not a monkey.
right.
Jeremy's a man. You fool.
'Cause I just thought they were humouring you. We get Jeremy on the blower. Hello, Jeremy. Oh yes, we've got a banana for you. We've got Russell as well.
He'll be thrilled.
Yeah, go on then.
Well, because I got excited about the prospects of meeting Jeremy the human and Charlie the monkey, there was a memorial for the great Jim Cronin, who opened Monkey World and sadly died last year. There was a memorial sort of charity box for him, and I thought, right, because they're doing this kind thing, I'll make what I could only... Sizable donation, right?
£10.
20, Matt. 20. I went all the way
my
up for
God.
20. I put it in but it was quite a little thing. Also, look, I'm ashamed to admit this.
I bet I know what this
I wanted them to see that I was making.
So you just wedged it. Oh, just put that in
Yeah,
there.
and it got wedged in the top of the thing, right? And I put that. The woman was still talking, and she hadn't seen that I was making this sizable donation, so I started tapping it down with my wallet. But I think I'd made too much of a show. She went, "Oh yeah, no, that is very tight, that lid." And I think she used the word tight 'cause she was thinking I was tight, making such a show of handing over with 20 quid, sort of banging it in like it was a
Yeah, well, I
ten
bet
peg.
other celebrities go there and hand over big cheques.
I'm the only celebrity they've ever had. They said, "Oh, we've had people that's
yeah.
passed it before. We've never had anyone who's current like you." They said they loved me down the Monkey World.
Oh, what if there's someone listening who went to Monkey World a month before you?
In that case, they-
now described as past it.
Well, it's not my fault. I don't work in the gift shop. You're going to take that up with Barbara in the gift shop. She's the one who's condemning, I don't know, Mark Knopfler, whoever it is, been in there, monkeying around. Right, and then I went off to meet Jeremy. Jeremy never even turned up. It was just some other lad. And then, and I go, "Can I see Charlie?" Charlie was in a back room. I couldn't even see Charlie. I thought, if I could get my hands
Charlie in the back
back on
room?
that score.
Playing cards.
he was out the back, yeah, beating up a prostitute, apparently. Right, he wasn't doing that.
What conditions do they live in?
Well, you know, normal, like a normal zoo, really. So they don't get mucked around too much. They can do what they want. They've got quite a lot of room and scope. They've got really big pens that they live in and like big outdoor areas they can swing about. It's really good there. I recommend you go there. You'll have a lovely time down there, Matthew, especially now shave off your body hair. You probably won't be dragged in as an inmate. Here's another email. It says, hello, it's from Paul Clark. The media is evil and must be rectified. That's why I'm taking media for GCSE to sort it all out, says young Paul Clark. I say we should celebrate Chris Morris. Yeah, well, we should celebrate the great Chris Morris. As a jingle, why not have someone whispering Russell Brand? Oh, yeah, Matt will like that. Russell Brand. Russell Brand.
Don't, that's actually a phobia of mine.
Come close a little.
It's very cruel what you're doing.
Yeah, all right, little naked nub. What's crueler is what you've done downstairs, mate.
I've defuzzed.
Dirty devil. Here's this is from Stacey Scott. Subject, Ike. They're not lizards, they're reptilians. Ike will have to pull you up on that one, Russell. Reptilians, then. Sorry,
that's all those different alien races, isn't it? There's the reptilians.
There's the Greys.
The Greys.
The Nordics, I believe, there's some.
Yeah.
Yep. Who else is there? Howard, Doc, Sneezy, Jason Orange is one. I don't know, there's a lot of different types. Nikki, P.S. Talking of Wogan, what was the name of that weird little antique expert boy that came, a transsexual? James Harris came, Lauren Harris. Have you met him, her? Yes, I have met her. She's lovely and the right laugh. Here's a message about turtles. The leader was Splinter, not Shredder. Matthew,
who's Shredder?
Absolute idiot. Shredder?
Shredder's someone.
I think I don't know, type of breakfast or something. Right, come on, this...
The baddie. Shredder is the baddie.
Out of what?
Turtles.
What, Splinter and Shredder? Were they brothers?
I don't know.
Why do they have such similar names?
Was one a rat?
Rat, yeah. Geez, doing all sorts of mimes over your shoulder. He just mimed the rat by elongating his own facial features into a cone. Not physically.
Didn't actually pull his face long, did he?
Well, he could have tried, couldn't he? Why are you always trying to put a lid on my creativity? We've got Ike coming up. We've got Noel Gallagher coming up. We've got our jingle competition. In fact, I'm entering it because I don't think the standards high enough. Now, here's my entry. Matt, there's the thing there.
Put in a wax disc.
What?
How are you going to enter it?
Right.
If you just step aside.
Well, make a jingle. Where's my sellotape?
Right, let's put together a lovely jingle. Right, here's my jingle. Right, now, when talking of Pin, Matt, what do you always claim that you are? When we talk about Pin, when Matt...
original victim?
Yes, you do claim that you were the original victim of
This is rather tenuous, because I've read the name of this clip.
It's not tenuous,
Got the
Matt.
word original in it.
So, hold on. But think of this as a jingle, right? This is my jingle for, like, say we've got a new item, pinning, where people talk about where they've been pinned or where they've pinned someone. By the way, I myself, Russell Brand, was pinned in an NA meeting. Someone came up to me in an NA meeting and went, pin, and pin me.
With a pin?
With a hypodermic needle. So, I mean, I was very upset, but I'm glad of the heroin. No, that did not happen in an NA meeting, and I asked the person that pinned me if I could say that, and they said, yeah, go on, I'd like that, because they love the show, obviously.
Did he stick a pin in you?
Pin! Yeah.
You're laughing about it.
Well, I like it. It's the nicest feeling in the world to be pinned. And the fact that you considered it bullying shows what Jezebel you were as a child. What big Jezebel you were. You know, not
Jezebel
really.
means prostitute.
Yes, it does, Matthew. And that's exactly what I'm implying. So, Matt Morgan, the original...
You didn't pay me for it. You just stuck a pin in me and was
did
off.
it for free. The worst kind of prostitutes there are, ones that can't even cope with the admin of the most basic tenet of the oldest profession in the world, that you charge money for sex favours. So, right, in honour of Matt Morgan, the original victim, that's what I've brilliantly now making up on the spot this jingle just before the show goes, get a bit of OG original. Right, so this is like, right, Matt, so, but is the sound already dipped for it, like, or have I got to just talk over it? All right, leave my mic up.
In it?
There's no talk, there's no swearing, but I'm going to have to adjust it as it's going on. I'll be dubbing it live on the mic, yeah?
Amazing.
All right, all on the mic. This is me, Russell Brand, all on the mic. Okay, go on, play it in then.
Here we go, ready?
Yeah, this is my entry for the jingle contest. Tell us what... Oh, not jingle contest, I meant jingle race war. So let us know what you think of my entry to the jingle race war. Go on, drop it in. Original victim. Victim. Oh, no. Matt M. Original victim. Matt M. Original victim. So, right, let's pull it out now.
Absolute rubbish.
Brilliant. That's a work of art.
Rubbish.
I've never seen... Look at the people in the gallery. They're overjoyed in there. There's people weeping.
The woman's been sick in a bag.
She's not been sick in her bag. That was a vomiting of sheer naked triumph that we saw there.
Floundering rubbish.
Hold on, let's try again.
I got a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Ready?
Here. Oh, right. Let's have a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance in life, don't there. What about our producer, Nick, bowling here, bold as brass, going, here, I've got an idea for a documentary. You go and meet Rose West. Oh, yeah,
Don't
great.
blow the idea.
Go and meet Rose West.
Wogan will do that if you don't do it.
Wogan's not going to meet Rose West. He wouldn't be able to see her, would he? He can't see the poor sod. He'd be staggering around the prison.
His big glasses.
He'd have a go at her big Westy cocks. Oh, can I have a go of your Westy cocks? And they'd be groping around on her knockers. All hell will be let loose.
They're like snooker players' glasses because they're high, so you can look down.
Yes. Oh no, that's not. I just thought of such a funny joke that we can't do. I'll do it when we're doing the jingle thing. Right, but like, imagine why she would need snooker player glasses.
Don't say
I'm not doing
anything
it.
else.
I'm not doing it. And
Right, ready to rap.
Right, okay, let's go. All right. Matt M, original victim. Look, I'm doing it live. All right, look, start again. I can do it better. Right, play someone else's rubbish jingle to put this in context, right? Put on one of the other jingles. Right, who has it? Read out their name. Do it properly. James Vagnetti. Do James Vagnetti.
Which one? Hang on.
Number 36. Look at you peering around like an old lady. Baffled you are.
All right, 36. Here we go.
Go on, like granny with an iPod and chat. Oh, where's this bit go? Oh, what do you do? When I tried to pour water earlier, for a bit of a laugh, I was going to offer the dashboard thing that Matt presses the buttons on, some water. He'd go, don't do that 'cause you're clumsy and you will give it water.
If you poured water onto that,
it would be glad of the drink.
imagine the passive-aggressive note.
Could you not, Wogan, cry tears of regret into the dashboard? What's it called? The desk?
Over-caffeinated lunatic, high on monkey powders. Please don't pour water into the dashboard.
Right, come play and this right.
Yeah.
Jingle race war
yeah.
now. This entry for the race war is by which one should we do, Matthew?
The one you've just said. Like when you say it, I have to load it up from somewhere, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry because my job's easy.
I
Yeah.
have to drag it up in a sack.
Coming out of all this charisma off the cuff. That's a doddle, isn't it? Yeah. You don't know you're born tit milk. Let's play it a bit of what's his name?
Shut up saying it, I'll play it.
James Vagnetti. Right, this is his entry.
Vagnetti.
This is context. Right, go on.
Yes.
Right. Already, where's it taking us?
It's G.
It's too long.
Russell Brand on Radio 2.
Right, and plus the ident was not punchy enough.
I liked the
all right.
heavy bit, no.
Yeah, cool. You just like that style of music. That's like if someone gave me a letter saying you look overweight, but written on a lovely pair of knockers, I'd go nice note because I like the way that it was presented. That's not. We've learned nothing. We've learned nothing.
You look overweight. That was more telling.
What do you mean?
Your greatest fear.
Sometimes I worry I might become a chubby bug and I might become chubby and get slapped on the legs during
Maybe you
PE.
do. You have to be cut out of your house.
No one will ever cut me out of my marzipan
You have to have all
palace.
the doors changed to big round ones. You've done a specially adapted car.
I will not be pulled out like a Swiss roll out of my own home through a mouse
rolled down
hole-shaped door.
Hampstead Hill.
I hope you have to go live in a mouse hole. Live a little door. Go live in the mouse hole. You drink tit milk.
Stop saying tit milk. You're obsessed
It's my new
with it.
catchphrase. It's going to sweep the
I
nation.
bet you'd be scared to drink tit
I
milk.
wouldn't, mate, 'cause I've had some.
Oh, wouldn't
I've had some. It's bloody delicious.
I had some when I was a baby.
You little square.
gutted.
When I was a grown-up, so I'm more on top of the pops. We are going to break a Guinness World Record later. Yeah, instead of the suggestions they make, catching bloody chalk drops in your gob under a bridge thrown by a tramp, blown off out of his bumhole or whatever it is, why don't we... Gee, what's that? Gee's mimes are getting ever more eccentric. It's like
I
having...
can't see him.
He does ridiculous things over your shoulder, mate. He goes over the top, mate. That's too much, mate. Do you know what I mean? I tried to radio, yeah? I tried to radio. He's mugging you off over there. He's gonna strike us up before the end of the bleeding show, ain't he? What are you doing? What's that mime, G?
I think we should have a world record tit milking competition.
A world
God.
record. What a lovely suggestion from G, who can I just say that G goes into schools where he teaches children about poetry and love. What did he just say? Let's have a tit milking competition. So, children of deprived London areas, why don't you all have a tit milking competition? That's not my words, but the words of Mr.
Can we stop
G.
saying that?
What do you want to not say?
Let's just say TM.
TM.
It's like a new trademark.
Okay, TM. I had a little sip of TM where I popped out and I feel in tip-top shape. Just never be greedy with a TM, I say. A little dab will do, yeah?
A couple of TM. More TM, Vicar.
And then it'll be a nice mime, like so when you go T with your two arms to have a cup of tea, then you go TM for a cup of Now, okay, so we've heard the
I
context.
apologise for him.
You've been doing that ever since we met, and only 90% of those apologies have been strictly necessary, and only 30% legally required. So I think it's clear
the math.
that you're over-apologising, you great patsy! Okay, so let's hear my live jingle.
Oh, do we have to do that again?
Just once more. I can do it this time.
Wait.
Right. Matt Morgan, original victim.
So out of
Matt
time.
Morgan,
I can do this
original
now.
victim. Go on then!
Ah.
You think you're better than me, you bald
went in my
nuts!
rib.
Go on, do it then! You think you're better than us?
Right, shut up.
Go on then.
What was it? Matt Morgan, original
victim.
Right.
But what would be the absolute brilliant thing to do would be to leave Ice-T's original and you go, Matt Morgan, he goes original, and then you go victim.
Okay.
Do you see? That's
Yeah.
that's the aim.
Right.
Okay.
How does it start? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, right!
You're shouting over it.
It's so easy to judge others. Not so easy to have a delicious glass of tit milk, is it, Matt? Not so easy.
Right, shut up when I
Go
do
on,
it.
you having another go?
Yeah.
Go on then. Go on.
Well, shut up.
We can't have dead air. I have to fill the time.
Right,
It's my
stop.
actual job. Right.
Matt Morgan, victim. Matt Morgan, victim.
That was really good, actually. Well done. Round of applause. But, hold on. Spoils are shared because doesn't it show the brilliant idea it originally was? By me.
Really? When it's originated, couldn't work it. Imagine someone had gone, I've invented the light bulb. It doesn't work, though. But someone will work out how to turn it on one day.
Sometimes I just hold it above my head to demonstrate that it's an idea I've had, although that semiotically wouldn't make sense yet because it doesn't light. But nonetheless, in 20 years or so, me holding this bulb above my head will represent an idea being had.
So here's the telephone. I'll say hello, and then somebody hundreds of miles away, if they imagine they heard me say it, it's sort of how it works.
Okay, right. Now, look, you'll ruin our chances of getting in the Guinness Book of Records with pure cynicism, if I may say so,
Well, I
Matthew.
might get in there for being the most cynical man ever.
Well, all right, but as it's an abstract concept, I don't see how that's ever going to occur. So do you want to play a record? Then we're going to come back. We're going to be reading out more people's emails. This is the Russell Brand Show. It's on 88 to 91 FM, BBC Radio 2. Later we're talking to Noel Gallagher. We've got David Icke coming up, who's going to help us formulate a proper revolutionary plan. Excuse
Ask
me.
him about UFOs.
All right, you're going to be here.
to talk in the interview.
You can have a little talking interview. Just don't say anything, child. This is the list I have to give him every week. No childishness, no racism, and a delicious glass of cool, refreshing. Come on then. So what do you want us to do?
I'd
Vibrators.
like to listen to the vibrators.
Put them on then, mate. No one's stopping you. No one's
It's a
stopping
nice
you.
song.
It's a free country. You broke my heart. The Vibrators. You listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2. Just then my headphones got all tangled up, right, on my microphone. It was like, you know, when you're at church and you have to go, that thing where you have to go around the outline of Great Britain, and if you touch it, it goes...
In church?
Church fate, something like that. School fate, church fate. You have to go around the map of the British Isles, and you have to
Do
go
you think that
like
was
that.
a religious thing?
Yes, to do God or Jesus, one of them blokes, I think. Pretty much to do with Noah. I think it's pretty clear from the Bible, Matt, if I've understood my scripture, that if you can go all the way around the British Isles without the machine going, that makes you Prince of Edinburgh. So, later on, I'm looking forward to receiving my knighthood. This is a letter, an electric letter, by Peter Binns. Good evening, you fine gentlemen. I'm working on Leeds. I looked at the webcam. Why does Matt Morgan resemble Mother Teresa looking up at Jesus? Has your relationship changed so much after you let him rifle through your bedside drawers? I've attached a picture in an Atticus Finch way to back up my argument, although that picture has since been destroyed. Interestingly, perhaps by the bungling backroom goons we employ here, for reasons unbeknown to me, other than Graham, who is a dedicated, brilliant professional man who would never let anyone down here. Probably it's him that had to write that poor note for Wogan, the
I think so.
squinting pervert groping his way through the show in Rose West specs. We've got another one here from Terry Russell, just been on the David Icke forum where his featuring on your show is being debated as the members eagerly await his words on your show. When you speak of him, please lay off all the reptilian stuff as it has been blown out of all proportion. That's quite funny, isn't it? A little bit, because
Yeah.
because it is quite a big deal, isn't it, to say something like that. But like, know this, I think David Icke, that's not what I'd be focusing on, because I think all that stuff about him predicting September the 11th, and mostly just the impending ecological disasters that he focuses on, and the duplicity of governments around the world, that's the stuff that interests me. So yeah, of course, that's what I'll be focusing on. It's been blown out of all proportion and detaches people from his true message. You are truly a spiritual person, and I know that you understand the deeper message. Namaste. Namaste, Terry. I never thought I'd see those words together. Namaste, Terry. Or you can call me Tell. All right, son, meditate, open your mind. So there we go, that's from Terry.
Against Terry's.
Well, yes, because Terry, as I think we are all aware, after Terry Waite spent all that time unnecessarily befriending a radiator in the minute. Listen, that was just
The
a joke.
inventor of the chocolate orange.
Terry, the inventor of the chocolate orange, he were locked up in Beirut, yes, I believe, for quite a long while, and eventually he just thought, well, if an orange were chocolate, that would be something, I suppose. That would give us something to look forward to.
He just
Sorry
wandered
to the relatives of Terry Waite there. Those stupid, childish, cheap words. Right, as you all must know, My Bookie Book by me, Russell Brand, is the best-selling book in this country for no reason
Still?
other than it's the best one that there is of all books that are available. You can get any book you want, Bible, that's a book, any book, mine's the best one. That's why it's a top selling. Here we have got a gentleman who calls himself Craig Glenday. For all I know, it could be a lie. He is a representative of the Guinness Book of Records. He is here to adjudicate a record that we could break here in the studio. Hello, Craig.
Hello.
How do you feel?
Oh, good. Good for this time of night. Yeah.
I like the way you look, as a matter of fact. I like your waistcoat that you've got on.
Oh, thank you. It's all it fits after
You're quite a big gentleman, of
Christmas,
course.
yes.
Yeah, well, why not? You look to me like the sort of fellow I wouldn't mind getting on your lap and giving you a cuddle.
Well, after the show.
Well, OK, if that's what you would
Sure we
like.
can get a record in there somewhere.
That's to me. Are there any sexy records to be had? Because those are the ones I've probably already broken and have not been acknowledged for.
We've got a new one this year for the most dangerous love life of any creature.
Well, I want to look in there.
Which is, I think, called the antics, who lives in Australia, a little mouse that when it becomes sexually active...
Richard Gere puts it up its bottom. No, Richard Gere never did that. That was a very stupid thing to say.
No, this thing...
Does this little mouse do?
It reaches sexual maturity and then just can't stop...
Doing it?
Yeah, until it just dies of heart attack or exhaustion or starvation or something.
Just can't stop himself.
And
then you
the whole
adopt one
male
of them.
population gets decimated every season. There's no more males left.
They F themselves to death
They do,
every
yes.
year. What are they called again, these little guys?
Anti-kindness.
Anti-kindness.
Well, there's a picture
Sounds like
on
they do
this
too
year's
much kindness to me, Matthew, if you know what I mean. So, OK, they're the sexiest mice on Earth. And
Well,
what do they get for that?
most dangerous love life. There's a picture, actually. Look at it there.
Let's have a look at him. Well, he looks to me, yeah, that one looks pretty randy. It pretty much looks like an ordinary dormouse, just with an erection and a little hat on, like a sex hat.
That's his tail, that's his tail.
Boob inspector.
Like boob, he's got a boob inspector cap on. He's clutching a Durex and doing a big thumbs up. He's clutching a mug saying the tip milk's on me. So that's that special mouse. Okay, so that's the sexiest creature that there is. Did you know I'd ask that question? Am I glumly predictable? Because it seemed like you had that page.
No, just
prepared.
I just
You know the book
off the top of my
What's
head.
your job?
I'm the editor in chief.
You're the editor-in-chief of the Guinness
Oh,
Book of Records. We got him here. Oh, bloody hell. Oh,
went-
crap, Matthew, comb your hair. Oh, Jesus. Gee, do that shirt up. Put your trousers up. All right, OK.
They said radio too, so I said yes.
Thank you. No, we're held up. We are thrusting broadcasters, us lot. More than that mouse thrusts, as a matter of fact. All right, so tell me some other interesting records.
Well, just from what you said earlier today, we do actually have a breastfeeding record.
Really?
But it's the most, not volume, but the most women breastfeeding.
In one place?
In one go, yes, which is 3,500.
I bet that was organised by a pervert as well. I bet, because why else would you do that? I mean, if it was like, hey, let's just get a load of breastfeeding mothers together.
What if the babies weren't hungry?
What if they weren't?
They're
Exactly.
force-fed.
Forced a great load of...
How can they prove that they were
tit milk?
sucking?
I mean, it's the first time on the show.
Breast
it's
milk.
valid. Like, tit isn't a bad word, is it? I like it. Tit, tit. And, you know, and the fact is that those babies were forced to eat that, and I think that record should be struck off, Craig.
There's also a picture as well, but anyway,
Is there? Well, no, we shouldn't be into that, because that's just natural.
It's a
isn't it?
natural thing, exactly. That's
Just
why-
natural.
nothing-
Thousands and thousands of women force-feeding a baby, gobful after gobful of rancid
It
tit
wasn't one
milk.
baby. It wasn't like a gangbang.
A gang feed. Just put it in a barrel and drop the baby in it. Okay, so, all right, that's an interesting record. Is there anything else?
And I thought you'd also appreciate the world's smallest monkey, which there's also an actual size picture of.
Oh, let's have a look.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's like a
tiny.
tiny little thing.
He
He's
holds
about as
your
big as a
finger.
finger. Oh, I'd
Put
love
them on the
to
end of
have
your
that.
pen.
Think when you're in Monkey World, right, Craig, Matt, G, everyone, Victoria over there, all the people in the gallery not focusing, right? Guess what? They always go in, and right, this one monkey was rescued. It was being a pet, so never have a monkey as a pet because you know it seems like a laugh. Don't have a monkey as a pet. All the time thinking, can I have a monkey as a pet? Please let me have one. Or let me put a waistcoat on
They've
that
got
one.
them as sort of pets.
They have.
I've got loads of them.
I saw one man hit one. I didn't see a man hit one. They're so lovely. They do fantastic work at Monkey World. Don't have a monkey as a pet. Right, so, that's a tiny one. Of course, there's the Curly Fingernails, one of the famous records.
Well, no, actually, I listened in last week, and you mentioned the classic Shida Shilal record with the longest fingernails. There's a new one. This is a new
Someone's
record
beaten that record.
Someone's at last beaten Shida
What
Shilal.
else can they do? If you've got fingernails that long, what else are you doing with your life?
Yeah, not a lot,
Nothing.
I guess. No.
Must be so
It took a long
painful.
time to even phone us, I think.
How do you even go the lavvy? Yeah, how do they phone you?
Well, we
That's a
did
very good point.
ask, how do you go? It's as carefully as how he goes, he said.
That's not good enough. I'd want specifics. I'd want to know how he undid his fly. I'd want to know
we
everything.
didn't go that far. I think.
Well, get him on the phone,
Oh,
'cause
we've
I'd
got
like to
a-
know what he's up to.
We have a new heaviest man this year. I was very excited. I went to meet him recently.
Was he like? Did you feel like, even though you're saying congratulations on your record, are you secretly thinking, you disgust me?
It was nice not to be the biggest in the room, anyway.
Oh, come on. You're a lovely, rotund, jolly character, but you're not terribly fat. I think you're nice.
Well, not
I've already said I'd like to give you a cuddle.
This is 88 stones worth here.
Anyway, if people
the-
want to be 88 stone, why not? Let them. Who
88
cares?
stone.
Yeah.
88 stone. Good, because that's two fat ladies, 88. One fat bloke. You're in the Guinness Book of Records. It's lovely. It could be a new bingo call, could it? Who knows? Who's to say in this topsy-turvy world? David Icke coming up later. What other records have we got, Craig?
And just because on the same page, and one of my favourites is the longest female beard. Which is
is that a woman,
just a woman.
I'm
yeah.
against that.
She's got a beard like a man.
got a beard.
Let's have a
Hang
look
on,
at
is she cheating with hormone injections?
No, well, she's had it since a child. She
She's had
decided
that beard since she's a child. She's
Well,
got a
well-
Rasputin-style beard, for those of you listening at home.
Man, isn't it?
Hanging down
Did you
like a
check
brown
that was a
Captain
woman?
Birdseye beard.
Have you met her?
She didn't check she was a woman, Matt. You can't just go out to people and cup them. Unlike if it was you,
It's the
it'd be
Guinness Book of
clutching
Records.
your billiard ball of a mound. Here, can we get Matt in for baldest, shaviest nutbag? That's a record he
You have
deserves.
to verify everything.
You've got to verify everything,
Norris
mate.
McWhirter would
No
have
wonder
done.
people
He would have been
pin-pinned
right
you.
there.
Are you doing Norris McWhirter's job?
Yeah, there's probably more of us now doing what he used to do. 'Cause
Really?
It's a much bigger job now. There's
I suppose
the
so.
internet's made it sort of much easier to get hold of us. So we get
Right. We want to break a record. What
Yes.
can we break, in all honesty and feasibility, before the news? Well, we can't break it before the news because the news is coming up in a couple of minutes. But we want to break that some sort of a record, and then if we break a record here on the show tonight, that means next year we're in the Guinness Book of Records, right?
That's it, as long as no one beats you in the meantime.
How could they possibly? Because
Well, they will, because they're vindictive.
idiots, you vindictive pigs! Stay away from our record. Get your own record. Right, what record?
We can make up a record. That's the other thing. Isn't it?
Ah,
We can,
no, we see.
Yeah, hold on. You could just delay adjudicating, right? Say we make up a record, right? Sexiest couple of ponces in Britain, something like that. You can, like, the other person could say, "Oh, I'm a sexy ponce." You go, "I ain't coming round, mate. Sorry, I'm not
We're
going to
busy.
come round."
We've got the person who's jumped up and down the longest and been called Russell Brand, like because you
That
could.
can't be in it.
No,
You would
no, no.
fool. You've misunderstood the
Same, but
principles.
like, that's one extreme.
Yeah, well, hold
How
on,
do you?
but-
Where do you draw the line?
Right, Craig. I'll tell you, Craig will join the line because he's an adjudicator.
Not join
Matt.
the line. Draw the line.
All right, sorry.
I'll
I
draw
thought you said
lines on your face.
Then we could be the world record Zebra Boys, and that's us. We're the champions of that, at least. What were some of the suggestions you had, Craig, for records we could break this evening?
Well, I think definitely fastest talking.
Yep, could do that easily. Well, no problem there.
And there's a new record. No one's actually set yet for the fastest time to do a Terry's chocolate orange.
Why did they get in there? Why not as fastest time as stick a melon, eat a melon, rather?
You can do some melon smashing with your head if you want. That's quite
I'll do
painful.
that.
Bet it hurts.
That's-
No, it hurt,
that's-
mate. You'd
yeah,
regret
no,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
I would,
bruised
yeah.
head.
But though Matt does do a Krav Maga now, and earlier this week,
For a year, I've done it.
stunned for you listening people when he went, "Yeah, I've been doing Krav Maga so long now, I've got to go down to a police station and register myself as a lethal weapon, because if I had a fight on a bus, I'm like the Karate Kid or Mel Gibson or something."
I could
Didn't
fight
you?
with a bus.
You could not fight with a bus. You'll be very lucky to be allowed on a bus because people feel sorry for you.
You can pull the bus, actually. We have a record this year for someone
Everything we say,
who
he's got a
pulled
record
bus
for it.
with his eyelids. This is a new one. And eyelids. So you put hooks through your eyelids and pull the bus.
Well, that's brilliant.
You can try that. Well, not in here, obviously, because there's no bus. But
Look, we're coming up to the news. Can you tell us a few other suggestions quickly before we
okay,
go
we
to the
have
news?
banana eating. So you're to peel and eat most bananas in a minute.
How many would that have to be?
You'd have to. It's only 3.
3 bananas in a minute? We'll
do that
walk it.
so easily.
I'll do that without even noticing.
That sounds easy. It's a banana. As long as you just get it out
How
your
big
mouth.
at the
Oh, what's it at the
banana
end?
size? You're allowed those little bananas.
Good, we're delaying the news for this preposterous chat. Craig,
I think it's very important.
do you look round my mouth afterwards, or me and Matt will both do it? Like, do you look round our mouth to make sure there's no banana up our gums?
Yeah, after every banana we check just to make sure that you're not going to choke on them.
We ain't going to
That's
choke,
gonna
mate.
slow
We're
the
professionals.
process
We're
down.
record breakers.
You can
We're doing this
swallow
for
them
Roy
whole.
Castle's memory. We're not going to nose this up,
You
not
could
for no
sword
one.
swallow bananas.
Sword swallow it. We can swallow them
You
whole.
can swallow them whole if you
I saw there was cloves of garlic. We got to go to the news. Look at Nick looking like Nick. He's a vicar's son. Nick lives in terrible guilt because he can't live to the religious principles laid down by the church.
That's not
This
true.
is BBC Radio 2 online, on digital, and on 88 and 91 FM. Here is some news. Woo! That's Hitsville UK, The Clash. Listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2 for that. There was
do my job
news.
professionally.
Oh, no, you can't come
He
out
goes,
there.
right, come out. I goes, all right, wait a minute. Wait for him to stop singing.
You always
"Oh,
does
you
that."
boy in square.
Hey, listen, this is the Russell Brand Record Breaker
He
show.
undoes bananas from
Right.
the wrong end.
Hey, I am a maverick, and that's another sign of genius.
I was
Undoing
thinking,
bananas
actually,
the same way as a monkey does it.
About
in a
that
zoo.
time of your life when you kept saying wild to everything.
Wild. Did I?
Yeah, it was really
Was I on
annoying.
drugs, or was it just being misled?
No, you just like if
Hey.
a waitress brought something over and went, "Oh, here's your chips," you go, "Wild."
Well, probably, I don't know, maybe it sounds like I was a lot like Jim Morrison. I don't know. Probably wasn't trying to be like Jim Morrison, but if someone is just naturally a bit like Jim Morrison
He
or
ate a lot of
something-
chips.
He had a lot of chips and wild man. Oh, sorry man, a little blue suit. Right, now I'm so confident in our banana record. If you've not listened to the first hour, what the hell's wrong with you? Have you been wasting your life, I don't know, kissing a loved one? Well, we're going to break a record on this show. We're here with Craig. Let's have a look at his name. Glenday, innit?
Glenday, yep.
Craig Glenday. Yeah, that's my name. Look at you. So official, wouldn't you? There's that record for saying your name properly, Craig, you big boffin. Right? I'm so confident that we can smash this record. Matt and me are going to try and eat as many bananas as possible, something in 3 minutes. I don't know, might be just one of us, because of monkeys and that, maybe. Yeah, why not? Right? But I'm so confident we can beat the record. I'm just having this banana as a snack. Before the
idiot.
record starts.
Right, let's have a competition then.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
Well, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I've been thinking about Tim Westwood a lot, and it's coming out in my voice because I just like him. That's all. So,
Come on then, bananas. Oh, actually, you've got to do your fast
that's
talking.
just a snack. I'm just having a snack before I do my record. That's all.
Well, I don't think the nation wants to experience the sound of it.
Well, Matt, perhaps because you don't know what the nation wants, that is why you're a hated felon
I'm
and
an
I'm a
everyman.
beloved
I'm an
broadcaster.
everyman.
You're not every man. Right, I started drinking rosé wine. Suddenly rosé wine was really popular. I started drinking cider. Now cider's really popular. I'm an everyman. No, Matt, you're a drunk. You're drinking lots of drinks all
It
day
wasn't
long.
just booze things, it was everything.
What else? What else did you do? Oh, I got that sickness bug,
I didn't
norovirus.
even get that.
I got it. I puked after this show last week. I was sick like a lion. It was amazing.
You've never seen a lion be sick.
from the bottom of my stomach like this. Ah! Like that it was. It was operatic.
It's not a sickness.
It was. I'll tell you what went on in my bathroom, mate. Was worthy of Jesus to me.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
the first in that bathroom. Things I've heard.
There's been a lot of muck.
Strange ways you keep that place clean.
Well, as long as the floor's spick and span, Matthew, it don't matter what people get up to. In fact, there's probably a record in that somewhere. Human mop. Now then, let's not get bogged down in what can only be described as needless tit milk. We've got an email here from someone calling himself Rosanna. My best friend Rachel needs your help. Her name is Rachel Stevens. Why does she keep saying her name? And she's on a date with some man in the pub round the corner. Rachel wants to get out of the date. She keeps texting me saying how rubbish it is. Could you call her and create some kind of chaotic and dramatic diversion resulting in Rachel's liberation from this date? She's
Rachel
already
Stevens
rejected my offer
famous?
to do this, but I think she would love it if you did it and rescued her pronto. Here's Rachel's number. Thanking you in advance. Lots of love, Rosanna. Later on in the
She's
show-
famous, isn't she, Rachel Stevens?
Oh, P.S. She isn't the Rachel Stevens from Steps, it says at the end of it.
Really?
It does say it, look at it there, Matt.
Oh, yes.
There, in black and white. Now, also later on the show, we've got Noel Gallagher coming up, and we've got David Icke. He's going to come and talk to us, and I'm really excited about talking to David Icke. And then I'm going to get him to come and stay with, well, maybe not stay with us, but visit us in our mansion where we're staying next week, where we're going to set up. Let's try and do a revolution in the Isle of Wight, see if we can be made kings. When I spoke to Noel Gallagher earlier on the phone, he goes, I bet you're only gone there because they've still got the birch as a punishment. They don't give it out as a reward, you know. It's only as a punishment. They give people the birch if you do a crime in the Isle of Wight. Is that
the
true,
Isle of Wight?
Record Breaker Craig?
Yes.
Aren't you ever tempted to think, oh, getting that record thing myself and break a
I
record?
bet he's in there.
Well, before I was editor, I had the Curly Wurly stretching record. I stretched the Curly Wurly. for-
Try and stretch Matt's curly whirlies. There's only about 1 millimetre of them because he's such a sex case. Shaved them right down to the nub. He's bald as a coot. You how far did you stretch a curly whirly? Other chocolate bars are available.
in the warm-up 4 feet, but in the actual attempt 3 feet.
You did
I got
better
a
in
bit-
the warm-up?
Yeah, I got a bit nervous. I just snapped.
Oh, don't get nervous, mate. When you're stretching a curly whirly, you just got to focus.
I'd go for it.
I want to thank God for helping me stretch this curly whirly. God was at my side as I stretched this curly whirly. That's what I'd like to say.
Like they do when they win a medal or something, you know, at the Olympics. They do that, though, don't they, though?
Right, are we going to move on? Look, Matt, Matt wants to try and eat as many bananas as possible, but you'll be sick for the rest of the show and unbearable. You're a hypochondriac.
not.
You're a hypochondriac.
Banana sick is not acidic.
What do you mean banana sick? What kind of life do you lead where you can immediately respond to someone, banana sick is not acidic?
Because bananas aren't acidic. The
Yeah, but-
stomach acid, there must be alkaline.
What do you mean? It's going to alkalise, it's going to neutralise your stomach acids.
Or oranges or something, it'd be horrible, right?
What are you saying?
Bananas.
Bananas,
It's
so you
lovely
think
when
you're
they
gonna
come up as when they go down.
Is that, do you want to have that as Fife's new slogan? It's lovely when they come up as when they go down. P.S. You can also put them up your arse. Is that your... Well, hey, you're the one selling Fifes. Other bananas are available. So, all right, Matt, if you want to try and get a banana record, we've already established with Craig that, well, Craig, what is it, for 3 minutes?
Well, there is no record for 3 minutes. The record for 1 minute is 3 bananas. You must do more than 3 in 3 minutes to get the Guinness World Record.
Okay.
Casually
Can I
having
just
a banana
say
as a snack
to
now.
the listeners,
Casually
it
having a
would be
banana
very
as a snack.
childish
Yeah.
for someone to beat my record tomorrow.
It would be childish. And
Just don't do
Matt,
it.
I'm
Just
going to go
I
one
want to
further.
be in that book.
I'd go one further and say it would be a hate crime to try and tackle your record the day after. I would say that is a hate crime. Nick, the guilty vicar's son, producer of our show, has just come in here with a great big lovely bunch of bananas that makes a mockery of the struggle of wartime Britain. He has got about 6 or 7 lovely bananas there. Also, them girls out there said they call Panorama Banana-rama, which undermines Jeremy Vine, who is a friend of this show, a great friend of this show. They've just called
you've
it
got 'em in
Banana-rama.
trouble. What a grass.
Also, they said sometimes they put fake stories on Panorama to cause national discontent and diversions from the truth. So there we go. David Icke will pick up on that theme because he's well into revolutions and that. So, Matt, are you going to eat these bananas, mate?
Yes.
Sorry
Do
for
I
getting you
feel a bit
sacked. They didn't
sick
do that.
thinking
We've not
about
said your
that.
real names. They look all panicked. We've not said your real names. They're called
How many work
Deborah and
experience people do
Patsy.
you think there are on Panorama? There's probably only 2.
20 work experience on Panorama, probably.
No, I'm going to eat that one first.
Right,
It's
Matt, hold
little.
on. Is he allowed? Was he got to peel these bananas and eat them in that time?
We'll give you the rules before you start. Get the bucket handy. Yeah.
Look at him.
I
What
don't
an
need
idiot.
to do this now.
If he vomits, does it count as a record?
Only if it's afterwards. After the time is up, we can
What
vomit
about-
all you want afterwards, but not during.
Most banana-y vomit.
What
I don't have
about
my scales.
most childish hypochondriac on earth? Hold on. What's this one for to be or not to be? Because I'd like to have a quick crack of that before Matt starts his banana thing. Look at him forcing out burps, you dirty pig.
I'm making space.
It's making space with burps, evicting burps like a little gastric
I don't think I can
bailiff.
do this now.
You're a gastric bailiff evicting burps to make space for banana vomit. Even when you're not sick, sick's in your stomach. Think about that. Your stomach's full of sick.
No, it's not. It's full of digestive
Sick.
food.
The only difference between
It's only
sick on the
sick when it
floor...
comes out.
Well, yes, that's language, mate. Semantics. You've got a big belly full of sick, and I'd like you to think of that while you're up there trying to challenge Linford Christie. I'd like to go for... Here's
I
the
actually
record.
feel sick anyway.
I want to
so
do
I'm not
that.
gonna do this. It's
You
childish.
coward! I'll tell you what I'll do, Craig.
I'll smash bananas
100
in my head.
metres. What is currently the 100 metres record? Because I will smash that out of
Your
the park.
Forrest Gump boots.
Oh, well, Forrest Gump, who was good at running, so gutted. How quickly can you do the 100
That's why I
metres?
said it. So gutted back.
Double gutted though, because Forrest Gump was also a spiritual leader, and as am I. Craig, what is the best 100 metres dash that can be done, according to your stinking book that came second to my brilliant book in the charts this year?
In the last week of sales.
Actually, it was the last 4 weeks, Craig. Over 400,000 glorious bookie books, all sold to lovely people, followers of the revolution.
You were out there pimping yourself.
Was I
whereas they
pimping
weren't.
myself, Matt? Or was I spreading the word of God? Yeah, you decide that for yourself. You decide for yourself. What's the 100 metres record?
You have to do 9.77 seconds.
Well, I don't want to sound overly aggressive or confident, but that to me is a piece of tit milk. I'll run that 100 metres quick as a flash in my Forrest Gump rootin' tootin' boots in the Gumpsters. All right, I can't do that. But what is the record for saying to be or not to be, or whatever it
Okay,
is?
so it's the fastest talking...
You said that deliberately fast to just make me nervous.
Sorry, the fastest talking is 260 words of the speech, and you have to do it in quicker than 23.8 seconds.
260 words in 23.5. That would just sound like garbled rubbish,
That's
unlike
10
the rest of
words
the
a
show,
second.
which is
That's
brilliant.
It's 10 words a second.
10 words a second?
That's impossible.
Oh, it's done. We have to slow
Who's
it
done
down.
it?
A guy called Sean Shan, who's listening actually and is available to demonstrate on the phone if you want to give him a call.
No, I don't want Sean Shan on the show.
Yeah, let's have it.
Sounds too weird. Sean Shan on the show. What if he's in the shower? Hey, what then? What if he's showering or shaving himself like Matt Morgan, making a shredded wheat of his genital area?
Stop saying shredded wheat.
Well, I will not stop it as long as you keep doing
Like
it.
the top of the Weetabix.
Ugh, dirty. The Weetabix. Okay. No, it's not okay. You're a pervert. Okay, then what? So Sean's on the show. All right,
Sean's on standby, I suppose.
Right,
So yeah, 23.8 seconds. I have my timer. So do you
right,
want
you time it, but remember, let me win, because it'll be good publicity for your wretched Guinness bookie book. Unlike mine, already selling in their millions. Hundreds of thousands.
Right, come on. Mouth exercises.
All right, let's do some mouth exercises. Get me ready. I always do this
I'm
before
going
I
to be like
attempt a
Rocky's
record.
trainer for you.
Okay, go on then. You're like Mick out of Rocky 1. Go on then.
I actually have never seen Rocky.
Well, he's a bit like this.
Okay, kid, you're an Italian tank. You like it, kid.
I've not finished the demo.
Italian tank.
You like Grease Lightning, kid. Like olives. It's disgusting.
He's a
Right,
bit like
come on.
Popeye,
Well, let's
isn't it,
just
right?
say that was your vocal warm-up.
Hold on. Swan swam across the sea, swim, swan back again, well swan. Peter Pepper. Actually, I said that properly then, and it was so fast, I'm probably
That's
already a
not
record
that
breaker.
different to what your normal broadcasting.
Oh, hurtful things to say to someone
Come on,
on the
slow
very
voice.
anniversary. And I'm 64. Can I have the record for the most lachrymose insult to the legacy of the Beatles? Hold on. Here we go. And here is my record attempt by me. And I'd like to say I'm dedicating this to everyone everywhere. God bless you, people of Earth. Here we go then. I know we've had some hard times, but God damn it, it's sure as blooming worth it, isn't it? When we lead up to this record-breaking moment in your face. All right, okay, here we go. When do we start, Craig?
I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and then.
Hold on, that wasn't it, was it?
No.
He said, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1.
Well, I thought that was a
Didn't go-
threat, like Ted Rogers. Ted Rogers
frowning.
looming over your shoulder with Dusty Bin with his lid off. 3, 2, 1, we all remember that, don't we? Right, kids? Okay, well, I feel actually genuinely nervous. Oh, bloody hell. It's not easy being a record breaker, I'll tell you that, man.
You're not to be.
Right, okay,
Are we
here
ready?
we go then, yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
To be or not to be, no, that's a question of no mind. Some of the things arrows are outrageous, fools take arms against the troubles and by opposing in them to die to sleep no more. And sleep, I say, when the high can fasten that strong the flesh there, 'tis a consumption devoutly to be wished to die to sleep, a chance to dream. Hey, there's the rub. From that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we've shuffled off this more core, must give us pause. And there's the respect that makes calamity of life so long for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong. The proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the laws delay, the insolence of office and the spurns that patient merit, the unworthy takes when he himself might take it as quite as pain with a bare bodkin. Who would fathers bear to grunt to sweat under a weary life, but the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather than bear those ills we have and fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of all, and thus the native view of resolution is particularly low with the power cast of thought and enterprise of this great picture moment with disregard the currents turn awry and lose the name of action. How much?
Once more with feeling.
That's just me trying my hardest to convey the meaning of Hamlet. What? How fast was that?
That was.
I started at the beginning. I could do better.
You could. That was 40 seconds.
Oh, bollocks.
0.4 seconds.
Oh, no, sorry. I apologise for my language and I apologise for not breaking that record. It's hard, isn't it? But I reckon I could shave
You
10
were
seconds
double
off it.
speed. But I've heard, you know, when it used to be on record breakers.
Yeah, it just sounds like... It's like that, isn't it? Doesn't it make sense when they do it? Right, I think I deserve something for that, don't I?
No.
Perhaps a spell in the Maudsley Mental Hospital to recover from the ordeal. All right, I don't
Mind
know.
you, that is like running 100 metres in 20 seconds.
So it's quite good.
Which is
that what you're saying?
quite good.
Fair enough, I tried my hardest. Can't say any fairer than that. I'm like Ricky Hatton after his defeat in the hands of Floyd Mayweather.
What? Drunk?
Oi! That boy is a credit to this country. Right now, Matt, eat your bananas then.
I don't want to.
Well, you shouldn't have agreed to it then.
Oh, well, really?
Come on, mate, eat bananas for Christ's sake. When you have
Can I
it.
just say, like, bananas come in all different sizes.
That's a good bloody point, Matt. So
said
do
it earlier.
words, and so
You
does
get those
time.
little bananas in like hot countries.
How do I know my seconds weren't shorter than that other fella, Shay Machini, or whatever his name was? This is a mug off. Sounds like an Irish name. What's Guinness? Irish. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I see how this works. Yeah? And what's your name? Craig O'Reilly. Well. And if you look very closely at the Guinness Book of Records, every single record is held by an Irishman. Look at this. Fastest bit of running ever. Jerry Adams. Right. This has been exposed as a sham. Well. Pat Jennings, tallest man ever to have lived. This is a disgrace. Okay, come on then. Matt, are you going to do a record or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do one? He's going to do it! That's all! Matt! He's doing an effing record!
It's the most reluctant record
Rare chord.
But you have 3 minutes. It begins when you start.
Hang on, what have I got to do?
He's got peel and eat bananas. How hard can it be? Monkeys do it for nothing.
Yeah, so
They don't want credit. Take yourself Monkey World, mate. They're good as gold.
Just show me your mouth is empty after every nana.
Yeah, get your mouth open.
degrading.
After every nana, show Uncle Daddy your mouth's dry. Show Uncle Daddy what you did.
Let's make Nick do it. He said he'd do it.
No, because he's guilty because of being a vicar's son. Let's not torture him any more than that. He's a lovely, lovely lad and a brilliant producer. You do it, it's more comical value.
Anyway.
Well, Matthew, you, a minute ago, right, when the news was on, when we were probably hearing about some terrible tragedy, Matt was strutting around with his top off going, I'll eat any bananas. I am the greatest. I'll eat more bananas than any of you. I'll eat one of them inflatable bananas that people do water sports on. I'm the king of the bananas. And then he did a song out of Jungle Book. I'm the king of the swingers. Then he took out his own will. He painted it yellow with yellow Tipex and noshed himself off. That is what happened during the news, okay? So now it comes to the crunch. No wonder you feel a bit ick. Go on, get on with do your record. You lazy right, go. Matt he's peeling the banana. He's peeling it. He's eating the banana. He's looking lovely. Mr. G is using the voodoo mat behind him, who's also eating a tiny banana. Oh, look at him moaning sexually while he eats banana. Don't get off on it. Show Craig your empty mouth when you finish that nana. And also show him your bald little mound, you dirty devil.
This is like torture.
Get it! Less talking, more eating. You're never going to break a record. Stab him with a pin, G. It's the only language he understands. Right, how many's he had? One. What's this, Matthew? You're rubbish at records. Go on, how many you had now?
Show me your mouth, show me your mouth, show your mouth.
Show him the mouth. Show him it. Ugh, look at the state of that. All of their cobwebs in there, old clock parts, an old portrait of Hitler just to the side of his gums, and also with a snail living in it. Horrible sight. He's gone.
Shut up!
Eat your nanas. Do your record. Why are you not focused?
Chris Akabusi never did this to people.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Akabusi came around my house night after night, filling me up with all these nanas.
Oh,
Go on, how many's he done? You're a disgrace to the Guinness Book of Records, you are.
1 minute.
1 minute. And how many's he had? 2.
1 and a bit, yeah.
Like, look, Matthew, that's rubbish. If you were just a normal man having a banana on a bus, I'd think that you were so wrong with you. He can't eat bananas at a normal speed.
Oh, shut up.
It's ridiculous.
You honestly unpeel as you eat as well, just to save your time.
You're a you could unpeel and eat. Craig, you could have done with that. Look, he wedged it down his gob then. That was actually quite sexy. Well done, Matt. That's it. Peel it. Peel your nana. Pop it in. Pop the nana in.
Sick now.
God, you feel you want to be sick?
Through.
Look, that is not the spirit of a record breaker. Record
Halfway through what?
breakers. Record breakers. Right, his mouth's empty. Go on, get that nana down your neck.
The black ones are easier to eat because they're more soft.
You sick pervert. He's getting off on it. He's truly getting off on it. Come on, is he nearly a record breaker yet? Oh, Christ. Right. David Icke will be coming on the show later, talking about how the media spellbinds us, the general populace, keeps us all daft and hypnotised. Never mind that. We're talking about a revolution. You stuffing bananas and wanting a pat on the back for it. King Louis sat over there. You poor sap. Look at him groping for the bananas. He's out of control. I've never seen anything like it. If you've got any questions for David Icke, why don't you call us 0500 288 291, or you can email russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Just to tell you now, Matt is showing his disgusting cavernous gob to Craig.
Records anyway now.
And just, what's that? Oh, King of the... Nice, yeah, good choice. Yeah, lovely bit of monkey music.
This is my last one.
Yeah,
Go on, get it
got
down
30
in.
seconds.
30 seconds to eat that banana. Is he nearly a record breaker?
He nearly is.
He's nearly a record breaker.
Not sick in the next 20 seconds.
If he's not sick in the next 20 seconds, Matt Morgan will be a record breaker. He'll be a great record breaker. Get it down and swallow it. Swallow it, Matthew! For the Guinness Book of Records. Oh, he's been sick! You idiot! This could have been the best day of our lives! You could have got us in the Guinness Book of Records. Turn the monkey music off. It's a laughing stock now. It's a monkey music to celebrate an unachieved... Matthew, I have never felt more ashamed of you than I do now. You were sick in front of Craig, in front of his adjudicator Victoria. Oh, Matthew! I'm so sorry. He burped on the Queen's favourite radio station, Radio 2, 88 to 91 FM. Matt Morgan, you disgusting pig. How do you feel after your failed, aborted, record-breaking attempt?
Give me the chocolate orange.
Let's get them garlic cloves down here. Are you all right, mate? Do you want some water? Have a bit of water.
You care now, don't you?
Well, you look. Oh, look. Just take a picture of that
wasn't actually
webcam of this
sick.
voodoo teddy bear.
I would
on
have
the
fell
banana.
back out of my mouth. And then
I was pushed by a big boy and then I got pinned by Darren French.
Put on the original gangster and do it a jingle in time. That to show you can do something.
Right, here we go.
Do it in time to show you're not useless.
Shut up.
People are saying. Go on. Right.
Matt Morgan, victim. Matt Morgan, victim. Matt Morgan, original.
He's still got it though! Matt Morgan, he may have failed to eat bananas, something that any idiot can do, but he can almost do his own jingle there. Matt Morgan, the original victim of pinning, attempted record. So hold on, we're not in the bloody record books. If you'd swallowed that, we'd be in the record books.
Right, shut up. I'm on a roll. To be or not to be.
That weren't even to be or not to be paper. That was Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. You disgusting Nazi.
Do you know my favourite bit of this speech is
Go on then.
bare bodkin?
Yeah, because it's a sort of a needle, isn't it? A
Sounds
bear
funny.
bodkin.
That means your body.
Probably.
Naked
a bear
body, doesn't it?
bodkin? Show us your bodkin. I don't think so,
With a
man.
bare bodkin.
It's a needle. It's a type of needle, a bear bodkin. Pin. So that's the bit you should have
it's
identified.
not. Bare bodkin means a bare body.
Bodkin? Why are they going to call it a bodkin?
This is the olden days. I'm confused.
Oh, welcome to the olden daykins, where we say kinkins on the end of thin thins.
I was robbed of that
Pin.
record.
You were not robbed of a record. You betrayed yourself. You betrayed Bob and Sue Morgan, your parents, who have tolerated enough. They could have at least had a son in the record books instead of on a paedophile register, which is where your name currently resides.
Don't say you idiot.
Guess what happens to
That's
me a
not
lot,
funny.
right? I was just out today, right? Listen to this. Stop being sick. Grow up. I was doing this thing earlier, being somewhere or something, walking around, and there's this person with a little baby, right, a girl baby, about 1.5 or something, right, and they went, oh, it's Russell Brand, I went, oh, hello there. She went, oi, stay away from her, bit too young from you. Where's he get an idea? I want to seduce a baby. Where does that come? Where did it go from, once again, Shagger of the Year, don't want to boast about it, that's 2 years running, get that in your bloody Guinness Book of Records, 2 years, Shagger of the Year, I bet that's never happened before in history, probably.
I think it's probably Lee Ryan from Blue had it.
Oi! Lee Ryan, I've trounced him into the dirt. I'm up there with Rosa Parks. I'm one of the greatest people in history. I've changed the world.
You idiot.
What?
I thought you were accusing her of being a prolific shagger.
Rosa Parks.
That's not the right reference.
Although On the Buses was a saucy sitcom, Rosa Parks was much more focused on making sure that racial segregation ended and not so much on the shagging, which I think was what made her such a great martyr and icon. Don't know if I can't remember if she died or not. Right, now, she obviously did, must have
ruined my
died, she
dinner.
can't live forever. What's ruined your dinner?
Food when I went home.
You know what you're having for dinner? Bananas. And you know what you're having for dinner every day, forever? Bananas, mashed up bananas. And you know what you'll have to eat it off of? A monkey's legs, won't you? Till you learn the valuable lesson. Right, you've got to find a... Please, Craig, find a record. What if we do a new record?
Shouting.
I've got this brilliant idea, right? What if we convert a number of vegetarians before the end of the show? That should be in there. Like people pledging, sending in text, pledging to become vegetarian. The most people in half hour to pledge to become vegetarian. That's a good record. That actually does something for the world. Saves animals.
You daft hippie.
It's a pledge. Should have rebadged it, you fool. It's not just a pledge. It's a good thing. Come on, let's do something that's
That's
spiritually
rubbish. You won't get in
worthwhile.
the book.
Come on, Craig. There must be something with spiritual validity that we can put in that book.
Bananas.
You moron. Since you've had them bananas, you've gone
Tell you
crazy.
what, it gives you a headache and a sore throat.
Well, don't eat too many bananas in an attempt to
I don't know
show
why I
off
did
your
it.
friend. To tell you the truth, that there's no one here from the Guinness Book of Records. That was simply Matt's hand, Matt's own hand and imagination telling him to eat bananas. Okay, look, can we think of, while this record's playing, let's think of a spiritual record. This is Matt's new favourite record. You can put this on.
Oh, no, I've always liked it, but now I thought we might as well play it. I know it's a bit out of date.
It's a bit out of date, unlike a man eating bananas for entertainment, which if it had happened in 1901, I'd have just rolled my eyes in boredom and told Stan Laurel to get off the pot. Listen, why don't we listen to Umbrella by Rihanna, right? And then we'll get Icke on the phone, David Icke, who I deeply respect because I think he's a brilliant man. And then we'll talk about revolution and that. And you bloody well find a record of some value, Craig. Sorry to be
Bossing
rude.
everyone around.
Well, I'm just trying to change the world, ain't I?
He's the editor-in-chief.
So what?
What have you achieved?
Best-selling bookie what? Best-selling bookie what? #1 podcast. Sugar of the year 2 times. So that's quite a lot of achievements right there, isn't it? Can't even eat a few bananas and hold them in your gob. You're a bloody disgrace, lad.
So close.
I was tempted. Do you know what I was tempted to do? Come over there and poke those bananas down your throat. I was going to poke them back down when I saw you crouched over, defeated there, like after Alan Minto got beat up by Marvin Hagler in the 80s. Crouched with your head bowed. I wanted to poke those bananas back down your throat. I really did.
Because your cruel streak came out then.
My cruel streak
Just
did
go,
come.
yeah, go on, make him eat bananas.
And it's that cruel streak. It's that cruel streak. Oh yeah, they're in your hood. You hate bananas. It was that cruel streak, Matt, that he's going to make us record breakers before the end of this show, and he's also going to get David Icke on here formulating a bloody good plan for our revolution.
Well, stop trying to deflect the attention to vegetarians on the phone or something rubbish.
Well, that was a good idea. All right.
Eat a chocolate orange.
Oh yeah, that's going to change the world, isn't it? Me
Chocolate.
stuffing a chocolate orange. Come on, let's listen to Umbrella and we'll regroup and we'll bloody well get a record. Come on, folks. That was Umbrella by Rihanna with absolutely no monkey business or tomfoolery. It was exactly as we found it in our CD player where we work here at BBC Radio 2, 88 to 91 FM. We've been trying to break records. We've been being very, very silly over the course of the last hour, however long this radio show's been on for. And
2 hours.
it's all been for naught, really, because we have 0 records between us. Matt, have you cracked any records of late?
No.
No, you sat eating bananas like a fool, whereas
I
Russell
got
Brand...
closer to the record than you did with your thing, because you were
Did
twice
Did
as
you?
bad as you needed to be.
That's why there's an email here, isn't it, saying this?
I still feel sick as well.
Russell says this by Colette. That was amazing. Not 1 A, not 2 A's, but 4 A's.
What, my banana eating?
You can... No, not your banana eating, Matt. Wait to the end of the email, then you might become a record breaker, like I nearly am. You can talk very fast. I bet you could do it next time. The guy who holds the record must have had lots of practice, and well done, Matt. Good effort. But that actually is written in a font that I happen to know is called Sarcasmo. I really thought you were going to do it. Love from Colette. Right, hello guys. Think about Isle of Wight from Maureen. There is no king on the Isle of Wight and they don't have the birch. Well, they bloody well have it next week when we will be live from the Isle of Wight, and here's perhaps the most notable resident of that island who's on the show now. We've been talking about it throughout. We've got a lot of emails with a lot of excitement of having on the show this next guest. In fact, let me read this email before we introduce him. It's from a gentleman calling himself Daniel Watley. He says, hello Russell, thanks for having David Icke on the show. Really looking forward to it. Please try not to take the... Then he says the word P-I-S-S, which is a sexy swear word, I believe, in the right context. Please don't take the P. I know it'll be tough, but there are some of us who think what he tells us is very much true and far from being a joke. Cheers in advance, and great show. Keep it up. From another 8 years clean, ex-Smackhead. Congratulations on your 8 years clean. If you've been listening to the show, Daniel, you'll know that I do not approach David with cynicism, but rather embrace what I think are some magnificent ideas. Hello, David, are you there?
Russell, mate, how are you?
I'm spectacularly well today. A little bit disappointed by our miserable failure to get into the record books. But other than that, I'm upbeat.
So you're on the Isle of Wight next week, then?
Yeah, we're coming over there to stay there and perhaps live like feudal barons. We were going to try and conquer the Isle of Wight and begin our attempt at revolution there. I see you live there, do you, David?
Great idea. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've lived there since 82.
What's it like there?
Well, it's like anywhere else, really. It really is.
It's like anywhere else.
It's a bit slower, but they're doing their best to turn it into what the mainland is. So
I went there as a
bit
child.
sad.
David, sorry to interrupt you. I went there for a holiday as a child, and I got a little glass bird with different coloured sand.
Oh yeah, Allen Bay.
Strata of sand.
Allen Bay. Yeah. Back in the 50s, I was filling me. Don't know how to put this. I was filling me thing.
Yeah.
With coloured sand back in the 50s, yeah. And then they
There's probably
eventually
a record in
realised
that
that
for you.
actually the cliff was falling,
Oh, bloody hell.
you know, because they were kept cutting it away with thousands of holidaymakers. So the penny dropped, so you have to buy it from the shop now.
Right, you can't just go and excavate different coloured sand because you're actually eroding the world. It sounds like the kind of ecological disaster, David, that you predicted. I was watching that notorious, infamous appearance of you on Wogan. It's 16 years ago, was it?
Yeah, 1991, I think it was.
We're in the very studio where Wogan broadcast from. 91, so I was like, what, like, sort of, I was 15 or 16, but like, when I watched that, and it's like, if you're sort of too young to remember, it's like Terry Wogan, they're very much the king of Radio 2, from where we're broadcasting now. Matt sat in Wogan's chair, trouserless as always, looking at a note left for Wogan, telling him he's got to sort out his eyesight. Wogan was very, Terry Wogan, who obviously I deeply respect as a broadcaster and a colleague, I suppose, was very cynical towards David. But then I suppose you were a bit, you did seem a bit balmy then, David. But I remember even thinking, as a 15-year-old, I thought, this sounds all right, this stuff. And like, I was quite impacted by it, and I was very unhappy about the way you were treated. And like, but not, I think that Terry genuinely didn't mean to be rude, but the audience, it seemed a little bit kind of, I don't know, sceptical, uncomfortable, and odd.
Well, I don't think it would take much to make Terry sceptical about much, really, because I don't think his box is very large. But
well, actually, no, I happen to have met Terry, and he was packing heat. Let me tell you, David down there. He could be in the Guinness World of Records, especially as he's bloody Irish. They'd probably put him in there without even sending an adjudicator around. That seems to be how it works, from what I've told. But but really, so since then, you've gone on an incredible journey, David. And there's a lot of your seminars sell out, don't they, all over the world? You sell hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of books, didn't you?
Well, I sell a lot of books, yeah, but it's always a struggle when you're a one-man band, really, trying to get information out into an arena that is dominated by global corporations.
Yes, this is something which few people would dispute, although we're kind of lethargic about confronting that idea. No one seems to. That's one of the things I was querying the other day, David. I thought if all of us completely accepted the idea that we are being manipulated by a combination of the media, the government, and multinational corporations, if people completely understood that idea, do you think they would still be utterly apathetic, or do you think that could be sufficient information to instigate change?
I think a lot of people would, find the nearest bucket of sand and stick their head in it. Yeah.
Don't do it in the Isle of Wight though, because it could be dangerous.
But yeah, it'd probably fall off the cliff. But I can tell you, I've been a barometer for this. Really, I mean, that thing with the Wogan show. Life is a journey, and we tend to judge every step at the time we're making the step.
Right.
And it's only when we see the steps following one after the other that we realize actually that life often gives us our greatest gifts, brilliantly disguised as our worst nightmares. And that was for someone who was concerned at that time in how I was perceived, was the worst nightmare. But what it was a fantastic gift.
Yeah.
And without that, I couldn't have gone on this journey that's led to where I am now, because one of the key things that it did was allow me to leave the prison that most people live in.
Yeah.
The greatest limiter of people, and that is the fear of what other people think.
Yes.
Most people are so concerned about what other people think. They edit what they say, they edit the way they live their lives, and they're not actually living their own uniqueness. They're living someone else's version of what they think they should be.
I would concur, David, that most of us tend to live in a prescribed reality, and that freedom is an illusion because the freedom exists within such narrow parameters that ultimately we are enslaved by a very manipulative ideology. David, can you say, some of them, I watched something about you recently, Was Icke Right? The programme was on Channel 5, I believe.
Right.
I watched it on YouTube. It was brilliant. The thing that I think will grab people's attention certainly is that, our listeners, as you can imagine, they're mostly blind drunk, they're revellers, they're pro-revolutionary already. No, they're not people...
I'm with them.
We're not conditioned citizens on our radio show, very much pro-revolutionary. Hit us with some of the stuff like predictions and that you made, because that's kind of headline-making, interesting stuff. Like the stuff you said, in 1990 you talked about an attack on a major American city and something about New Orleans. Could you tell us about that sort of stuff, please? And how you bloody well knew.
The thing is that that was a long time ago, but in terms of the point, it's much easier to predict at least the themes of what is coming when you have researched the agenda that these guys want to put into place.
What is the agenda?
The agenda is to create a global version of Orwell's 1984, in effect. And one of the...
How can there be complicity across the world from so many diverse political ideologues and governmental bodies? How can like America and China and sort of I don't know India? How can all these sort of diverse ideas cooperate?
Well, what I do in my new book has just come out, which is a major work of dot connecting, is show how this is possible. And basically, there's a structure that is like Russian dolls, one doll inside a bigger doll inside a bigger doll.
Yes.
Only their structure is pyramids inside pyramids inside pyramids until there is a pyramid that encompasses all the others. Give you an example.
Yes.
If you go to a bank and you talk to the guy across the counter,
yeah,
he doesn't know what the bank manager behind him is deciding or talking about.
Right.
The bank manager doesn't know what the next level of the bank is talking about, and eventually you get to the peak of the pyramid of that bank where
Yes.
there's a tiny few people who are the only people that really know the agenda.
So you would say that you think there's a coordinated hierarchical pyramid at the top of which everyone is complicit?
Well, I show that very much in the book. And you see, if you look at the way organizations, whether it's the BBC or a transnational corporation or a government, the way they're structured,
Yeah.
it is as a compartmentalized pyramids.
Right.
The vast majority of people are in the bottom of the pyramid, and they're just going to work and doing their job and going home.
Yeah.
The only people that know how all those individual of themselves apparently innocent contributions fit together to create anything but an innocent way that we're going.
Yes.
There's very, very few at the top. And so, you've got a government. People say it's the government. The vast majority of people in government are just earning a living and going home.
Right.
It's the few who coordinate
Do you think
the
it's
agenda
people-
within the government.
Sorry to
And
interrupt
every
you.
day, people are making decisions to centralize power who have no idea why they're doing it.
Do you think that public figures like Gordon Brown, George Bush, do you think that how much information do you think they have, or do you think that they are merely marionettes?
Well, the thing is, if you are in a public position, like a prime minister or a president, you are nowhere near the top of the pyramid. They
So
are
it doesn't
brought in and brought out, and they
Interchangeable, so it don't matter if
they're interchangeable. But of course, there are some that know more than others, and I've been exposing in great detail the horrific background to the Bush family for many, many years.
Yeah, so why does it? This is my point, actually, right, David? Because, then if the Bushes have no legitimate or actual power, then why does it matter that their lineage stretches back to the Roman Empire or whatever? Because you said that they're quite far down the hierarchical chain. Why does that matter? And some of the like the reptilian stuff, I sort of think, well, why would it matter whether that's true or not of people in the royal family or people in positions of power if they're actually removed?
The bloodline itself, Russell, has a hierarchy. So, the Bush family are part of the bloodline network, but they are a lower level of it. In terms of Father George Bush, he's
Make him
far
sound quite
higher
friendly
up the
there,
hierarchy
Father
than his
George
son.
Bush. He sounds all right, like a St. Nicholas figure.
Yeah, Father George Bush, yeah. He sounds benign when you say it, but if you knew his background, it would turn your stomach.
It does, actually, because I know he's involved in oil and bombs and all sorts of silly soddery.
Yeah, and children, yeah.
Children?
Which I've exposed in my books in great detail.
Well, say that on the radio. That sounds bonkers. Go on, David. I'm not being dismissive. What? George Bush and children, what?
Oh, he's a notorious paedophile, Father George Bush.
Wow, there we go.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously not the views of the BBC. I obviously have to say that, David. You will be aware that that's something I have to
wouldn't be the
stress.
view of the BBC, but...
Actually, no, hold on. I've just looked at the guidelines.
I've
That
been
is the
researching-
views of the
I've been researching,
BBC.
this for 20 years, and I've written about it in great detail in my books. And yeah, absolutely. I mean,
right, I'm
the
quite
thing is, Russell, that the world is not just a little bit not like we think it is. The world is nothing like we think it is. What we're seeing in the mainstream media is a movie. It is a movie to keep our minds occupied so the real agenda can go on behind it. And that's what's going on. And you see, the vast majority of people in the media, people say, it's the media. Well, does that mean every journalist is in on it? Of course not. What does the media do? The media takes what officialdom tells it is the situation, like the official story of 9/11, what a load of nonsense that is, provable fact, and it tells the people what the authorities have told the media is the situation. Investigative journalism today is reading the morning papers and watching BBC News 24 on the newsroom telly.
Which
there
I
is
quite
no
like.
investigative journalism worth a name, and that's why they can get away with it.
Yeah, fair enough. I completely agree with you. I wouldn't dispute any of that. Now, we can't carry on talking like that because we have to muck about on our show. Before you came in there was some man just eating bananas to get in the Guinness Book of Records,
Right.
Matt Morgan, and he frankly failed to do it, and now has got the gall to hold up a piece of paper with the simple letters UFOs written on. David, what do you think's going on with UFOs? What about the Raelian stuff and all the, sort of Eric von Daniken stuff that, that life on Earth seeded by extraterrestrials? Are you into that sort of idea?
Well, I think absolutely that there has been a non-human intervention in life on Earth. Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things. When people think something and it's the done thing to think it, like the Earth is flat,
Yeah.
and then eventually it dawns on people that the Earth is round, and people say,
What?
"It's so obvious all along. What were we doing, thinking it was flat? They were crazy thinking it was flat." The idea that life as we know it only exists on this one little planet in this one little solar system. I mean, crikey. I mean, if you want to mess about, let's talk about that nonsense. I mean, it's ridiculous. So
Yeah, I think it's preposterous. I wouldn't dispute anything that you've thus far said, except maybe that George Bush paedophile thing, because that's something that we'd need a photograph
if you
for
want,
that.
mate. No problem.
Okay, make sure don't send it on my bloody computer. I don't want that clogged up with George Bush stood in a grotto looking guilty. Hey, David, will you come? We're in the Isle of Wight next week. Do you want to come on the radio show? We can all
it'd
meet
be
in
lovely,
person.
mate. Yeah, where are you anyway on the island?
I don't know, because I'm not very good at
Well,
saying
it's
things
not
like
very
that.
big,
But
I'll
also, I
find it.
mustn't say on the radio, in case to remember, because then people want to come into
Oh, yeah, I
my
guess
glorious cove and have it off with me, which could get me in this world of records, but let's do it by legit means.
I'm sure you've already
David,
broken that, Russell.
Thank you very much for acknowledging it. David, thank you very much for coming on our show. It's a pleasure to
All
talk
right,
to you,
mate.
sir. Speak to you next week in the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, great. See you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye, David. There he goes, David Icke. Interesting so far. I don't think there's anything there we'd really dispute except for the
We
George
don't
Bush
know
thing.
that, but yeah, no, interesting.
Right, now, okay, so we'll see David Icke next week on the Isle of Wight. Go on, mate.
With like stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's there is things going on,
Yeah,
that,
of course.
and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
then when you take it too far, like into the, I don't know, you should just like
People can
discuss it.
probably only handle a bit of information. Oh, yeah, perhaps a drip feeding kind of
Drip feed
information
and just
would be
go,
more sensible.
there are other explanations for 9/11. Say,
Yeah,
And then
right.
when you like blow it all out at once, it just seems like madness.
becomes unmanageable and discredits some of the
Yeah.
more tangible ideas. I completely
'Cause I
agree
think
with
it's
you.
built on
That's what-
tangible ideas,
That's what we'll talk
and
to
then
you
it
about
goes
next
too
week.
much.
We'll say, come on, David, let's work on the better drip
Rein
feeding.
it in, mate.
Yeah, David, why'd you neck him, mate? You're freaking people out. People are wigging out back there because you just said Prince Philip's a bleeding albino or something. Yeah, let's...
Interesting though.
Of course it's interesting. I'm well into him. Right, so but in other news... That wasn't a news, incidentally. In other news, though... Right, Craig, record breaker. What have you got for us? You said something. Now, we were trying to break a spiritual record. We can't think of anything, but what can we do, Craig?
Well, I do have a whoopee cushion here,
Of course you do. Don't leave home without one.
and we can set a new Guinness World Record
Yeah.
tonight, this very night, for
Right.
the most inflations and
Most inflations
deploying.
and deployment, explosions, yeah, or blow-offs,
blow-offs
we could say.
in 1 minute.
In
So-
1 minute, brilliant, right.
Don't make me do it. I'll fill it up with banana.
You'd sick it up out of your back. I've been sick out of my bottom with banana. I'll do this record. Right, okay, so I'm definitely... Right, let me get that mic off there. That's right, I'm going to set this record, having just spoken about the duplicity in media and how we're all being manipulated. Now, here on the BBC, I'm about to set a record for blowing off through a whoopee cushion. But, this
What's
is a
the
diverse
record?
show.
There is no record. This is setting a
We're
brand
setting
new.
it, so I'm
Hang
definitely
on, why
going
didn't
in.
someone tell me this before?
Gutted!
Made myself sick on bananas.
You silly ass! Oh, you silly ass! You've just noshed off a load of nanas. You could have been in there for getting up and down. Right, here I go. Brilliant me, about to strut magnificently
Oh, do
into
you
the.
have to squash it with your bum?
Of course you
Yeah.
have to, because we're setting this record properly, Matt. Play the game. Play by the rules. Okay, come on, we've got to do it quickly. It's the most in 1 minute, yes, Craig?
Yep.
Have I got to blow it up? Can't I have someone else to do that?
No, you have to blow it up,
What a diva.
What?
blow it up and sit on it, then blow it up against it as
Right,
many
what-
times as you can in one
Right,
minute.
as
Don't
many
get to
times-
spit in it, because you remember they clog up when they get wet.
They clog up with spit. We all know that from childhood, right, kids? Okay, so here I go now, farting my way into the Guinness Book of Records. Nick, our producer, is holding the microphone before me. I've got to inflate and then...
Move his chair, Nick, because
Right.
his headphone lead. He's going to fall over.
I will not
No,
fall.
no, no,
I've
move
got to
it that
sit on
way.
chair.
Move it that way, because he's lead.
What, the lead's too taut. Thank you, Matt. You've been the wind beneath
after
my
you.
bloody wings, sicking up banana in my feathers. There we go, right.
So I give you 3, 2, 1, and then...
Practice.
Okay.
Do you want to just check it works, actually? Just
Oh, yeah, all right, I'll just check it. There's no point in mucking about when you're going in the Guinness
Little
World Records.
itching breath.
I ain't got a feeble pigeon breath, mate. I'm like Brian Blessed blowing this up.
With a little laugh.
Fuck. This is quite hard, actually. Hold on, this is a good job we've done this practice, isn't
I
it?
know, because that's you've
Mate,
got,
you're a
you've got
bloody
a whole
good
thing in the
trainer.
opening open.
I'm old now and I've had practice in this sort of area. Yeah, there's my skills coming off. Right, so hold on, this is just a practice one. Lovely. Okay, so I just sat on it and that was one. Hold on, let me just
That
have one
wasn't
more
even one. That's not inflated. He can't do it. He cannot do it.
Hold on! Jealous!
What
because
sort of
you
idiot?
failed to get in the record book.
It's very difficult to blow up a whoopee cushion and sit on it. He can't
I
blow
think
it
this
up.
is broken.
Give it to me.
Matthew, don't try and snide your way into the record books the same way you snided your way in this radio show.
Give me that.
No way. Hold, look at him all eager.
But you can't blow it up. Look. You're just blowing at it.
broken.
You're blowing at it.
You're supposed to blow the bloody thing up. Look, I think this
Right,
is
give it
broken.
to me.
Craig.
Please give it.
You give us
Russ,
a
come
moody
on.
thing.
Give us it to
Right,
me.
there's a hole in it. It was the corrupt
Of course
thing.
there's a hole in it. That's where the farts
Not
come
since
out.
Jesse Owens triumphed in Berlin in 1936 has an athlete been so discouraged as I was
Give me
just
it.
then. It's broke.
It's
Have you
not
got another
broke.
one? Of course, it says a bleeding hole in it, Matthew. What do you
Let's
think
have a
that
look.
is? Scotch mist. Look,
I bet I
there.
could blow that up.
It give me a moody cushion. I can't get in the record books with that. Look, all right, we'll do it next. Oh,
Next week.
God, look. All right, do you want to go here?
Yeah.
Oh, I can
It's
see
just
a hole.
coming out.
There's
You
a
can
hole
see
on
the
the
hole. There's a
side.
hole in it.
What, in the actual...
Just BBC Radio 2 online on digital and on 88 to 91 FM. Just moments ago, we were talking
Good
about
tape.
how the media is keeping
From
you
Teletype.
spellbound by feeding
It
you
won't work with sellotape.
disinformation.
It's too
Now we're
dusty.
blowing up bloody whoopee cushions. You could have bought two, Craig. You've mugged us right off
well
of that
done,
rightful
Craig.
record. That was our record by rights. Well, hold on. Even if I'd done it once, I'm still in.
She did one and
Right, hold on. Let's do it then.
Well,
Let's
it's
do
the
it.
record for using a broken whoopee cushion, and you got one out of it.
Yeah. So, in I go, right?
You slashed it with your horrible little razor buttocks.
My buttocks.
Your bony little .com bum.
My bottom is gorgeous and round like a porcelain doll's. It's
What,
like a
hard, cold.
no,
Loveless.
inviting, delicious, a work of
Oh,
art.
why do you want to invite people in with your bum?
To have a look round to sing us a song to make me feel special on a birthday wrong. Okay, that's that. Right, G, are you going to say, oh, we don't care about records, we're going to overthrow the government soon once we get our act together, aren't we, though? Overthrow the government, of
I'm
course
not
we will.
involved in that.
You bloody well will overthrow the government, young man, who will sit in a back room and eat bananas till your dying day, and I shall see it done because I'll be in charge. Right, inviting now the poet laureate of this show. It's the incredible, it's the amazing, girls love him, men want to be him. It's Mr. G! Yeah, right.
Okay, this poem is called Stormy Weather. If the winds were to call up and request a small order of caution, surely with dancing cabaret monkeys we'd be obliged to launch them a portion. If the clouds could text an invitation to your dreams, would you project to break records for the bananas you eat? To be or not to be, guilty of buckle envy. Uncle UFO was impressed, you know, by a quick Hamlet soliloquy. There's been no whoopee cushion filling, but new jingles are jingling, and now David Icke says what he likes with revolutionary thinking. If the rain were to email in an attempt to hail us all as successes, though sometimes we fail. Matt's razor's been trimming and Wogan's now squinting. You've been listening to Russell Brand, the original tit milk victim.
Yes, there it is. There are a couple of errors, but he's still a record-breaking poet. There's records everywhere. There's so many records we're bored of trying. We're smashing them like at a Greek wedding. Plates going off, you know, something like that. Have that image in your brain. Right, okay, the show is nearly over. What a fantastic show it's been. I'd like to thank David Icke. What do you mean? Mega Farter, that is the name of that whoopee cushion that for a moment was given such incredible reverence while we tried to get into the record books. Thanks to everyone that's contributed to our show. Sorry if we didn't get around to your emails. Thank you for your questions and contributions. Matt, do you feel better from your record breaking attempt?
All right, actually, but I'm a bit annoyed that my tea is now consisted of 3 bananas.
That's
'Cause
all
I'm
you're
not hungry
having?
anymore.
No, what do you have for tea tonight? Just bananas again, dear. Yeah, you're living like someone who's bonkers at the end of rationing. Greg, how are we going to get in the record? You come back soon.
Every week.
Oh, we've got to get in there.
Yeah.
I've got a box of these in the office. I'll bring in the box the next time. I'll send you some tomorrow. You got a
All
whole week
right.
to practice.
And we'll film it and we'll smash that record. We'll have you on the phone. We'll smash it in the Isle of Wight, yeah? We'll get Icke to help. He'll be up for it, won't he? Mind you, he might not want his name in the Guinness Book of Records just for that. It'll make him seem it'll undermine him. Of course it will. We don't mind about stuff like that. Our revolution's going to be a right roll, rollicking laugh. So, is there anything else I should be wrapping up? Oh, we didn't get to ring Noel Gallagher. Should I try and ring him now? See if he's there?
Yeah, you've got a minute.
I'll just try him on my mobile. Oh, Christ, my headphones nearly pulled my brain out. Hold on a minute, see if he's one of these people that's kindly sent the text message. Noel Gallagher. Hello, Russell. We'll have to give it a miss tonight, mate. Baby's playing up. Sorry, by which I happen to know he means Liam Gallagher, his brother, who he still gives delicious tit milk on an hourly basis to keep the Oasis legacy alive.
Baby's playing up.
Yeah, it just probably means it's tired or it's teething or something the babies do. I don't know what they get up to, crazy little guys. They're right as rain in my book.
To discipline the nanny.
Most likely, I imagine all sorts goes off. Well, good show, isn't it, Matt?
Brilliant, actually.
Especially if you think how ill I was last week. We didn't get in the... By God, we came close to getting in that Guinness Book of Records, didn't we?
Close, very, very close. Next time, I'm sure.
We'll get in there next time because we'll bloody well rig it until we do get in there, won't we?
Let's think of things we're good at and then attempt those.
I know, that's the struggle, isn't it? That's the struggle. What are we good at? I am good at jumping up and clicking meals. I am good at that. G's good at poems.
Okay.
Mac has had probably more illnesses in the space of a week than anyone you've ever met.
I'm healthy.
He's like a bloody ward.
You did the show laying on your back.
Yeah, because I was when I got home, I was really sick. If you'd have been as ill as I was, you would not seen Sight and Sounder. You'd have been off, mate. You'd have been brown bread.
I've done this show like that.
I've done this show like that. Why are you not in the Guinness Book of Records? Because of a failure to eat a few simple bananas. What a miserable excuse for a man.
Right, will you pledge that you'll do that next week? The banana
bananas?
thing?
Fine. I had one banana, made a lot less fuss of it. That's a third of the world record already.
Anyone can have one banana.
Can they, mate? Or does it take a special someone, a certain something to eat a banana, making me a tip-top lovely fella? Right, OK, this programme's nearly over now. You've been listening to Russell Brand. Thank you for all your contributions. Do join us next week when we're going to be live from the Isle of Wight. David Icke's going to be with us again. We'll get Noel Gallagher on the phone and we will get in the Guinness World of Records somehow by doing something that Matt doesn't want to do. Let's just get you in that Book of Records. Thank you for listening. We actually love you with actual love. That's why we will successfully one day overthrow the old government. This is BBC Radio 2 online, on digital and on 88 to 91 FM. Miss us some news.